Hi, Voltacus. How are you?
I'm not too bad, man. I'm not too bad. I'm looking forward to these games. Been a bit stressed all day. I always stress when it comes to like these Mondays and everything. Oh my god, hello. I'm being called.
Yes, it's going to be a good group today. So a lot of Terran. Who do you sort of? You must have a favorite already, right?
What in the pro scene or the UK scene?
This group.
In this group, I mean, they're all different personalities. I love all of them. GamerRichy is like the big the big name. A lot of people know he's been recently picked up by a team. If you remember, uh, Peak
Peak,
Esports.
yeah, they're famous in the League of Legends scene. So sort of moving over to StarCraft, picking up our boy Richie, which is really nice to see. Some organisations sort of coming.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and he's always like. I'm sure you've seen the what are they? The GamerRichy inspirational speeches. I might
Yes.
work 6 hours a day, but I can still do it here. No, I'm still GM and everything. I love that out of Richie, and there's some great clips of him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's probably my favorite talent because in this group, because I have the most experience with the guy. And then you got the next guy, which is our Protoss ZAiN. Very good friend of mine. Went to Korea with him, which was really awesome. He's a very game knowledge based person, and you'll find that with a lot of the UK producers. They're very you like knowledge based. Especially ZAiN. ZAiN is like the king of knowledge base. Maybe with T-Ball as well, they go like hand in hand because they're both very good friends. They grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I love me a bit of ZAiN and his bit of analysis because he's always going down to like Chelch, the other producers, and they have discussions about what they should do, what build orders the best, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's really good to see. Obviously, I've seen that a lot at Epic LAN, and I'm sure everybody that knows these players know that they all talk and sort of interact, help each other grow. But then they've got tournaments like this where obviously the UK scene is growing, but it's still very much like everybody knows everybody. So they've all had chances to play each other, they've all seen each other, they all talk to each other. So it's kind of weird when you get a game, especially like the game we've got coming up, which obviously ZAiN is Nox, is they're teammates. They probably talk, they know each other well, they probably practice almost every day against each other, right?
Maybe, probably not, because they're both on the Drunken Outlaws, and they probably might talk a lot, but practice probably not so much because Nox is about 5'2", ZAiN is more like 5'8" sort of thing. ZAiN is the favorite in this match, which will be our first match. But Nox, yeah, he's usually a meching Terran. I'm not sure if he'll bring that in the TVP that he's got in his first match, but that's his style. Usually doesn't go bio, but we saw a lot of that in the qualifiers when he went for his bio style, taking about Lime pretty handily with the awful mines. Oh my god, that was I still have nightmares about that, and I'm not even a Protoss player. He
Yeah,
took
Widow
down
mines are
30,
like
yeah,
those things that just like scare the living hell out of every Terran and Zerg. And every Protoss, absolutely everybody, when they see those Widow mines burrow, and you're like, oh no, I'm not quick enough to move anything. But I think we should jump into the game. The players are very much eager. Loading into Eternal Empire, as stated, it is going to be a TVP. ZAiN being the favored player here as well. But in all honesty, like it only, as you say, it only takes one dodgy Widow mine drop, and the game can be over sometimes.
one dodgy Widow mine and 33 probes are gone. I don't
I
think we're
like
going to
those
see a
odds.
repeat of that. ZAiN is very good. Uh, But I'm thinking more than anything, we might see some very tricky plays out of ZAiN. We might see some DTs, maybe some disruptors, something cheeky like that to try and maybe style. Because ZAiN is, if he feels confident, he'll start styling on his opponent. He'll start giving him a bit of a jab, maybe a friendly one, but then finish it off with 16 disruptors with warp prisms dropping on your army or something like that. I'm not sure. We'll have to leave that to ZAiN to make those decisions.
It should be quite interesting, to be fair. Like as I said, these guys are teammates. I bet they know each other's builds fairly well. But if you'd like to introduce the players for us, Vol.
Sure. So spawning down the bottom left-hand side, representing the Drunken Outlaws, he is our green Protoss. He is ZAiN. Oh, do you want me to introduce
Yeah,
Nox as
both,
well?
please.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you got to do both. You got to do both.
I was waiting for you
Look
to.
at that camera work as well. Look at that sexy
It's
camera
fine.
work.
So, spawning in the top right-hand side, also representing the Drunken Outlaws, he is our yellow Terran player. He is Nox. God, he can't put me on the spot like that, man.
Yeah, we've got to work out that one. It's almost like this is our first ever 5 minutes casting together. You know, we're not quite sure of each other's habits. You know, but what do you make of this matchup at the moment? Because obviously there was a lot of TVP over the weekend for the big tournament. We've seen pretty much meta stuff. I mean, what do you reckon at the moment?
So when you ask me that question, I have two modes I can go in. I could go into
neutral, objective,
or I could be
neutral.
Reddit. I could go full Reddit on this. I go,
Protoss
is broken.
Don't get banned.
Protoss OP. But no, like I enjoyed this matchup. It's a questionable one because a lot of the rhythm is in the Protoss's hands. It's down to a lot where their tech choices are. The Terran has to respond a lot to what that tech decision is. Of course, they can ignore it, but it can leave them open to, say, DTs, disruptor drops, funky builds that can catch the Terran off guard. That's what the Protoss can do a lot of. It is one that the Protoss has a lot of decisions they can make in that early game, where they could go for proxies, it could be some all-in. There's so many builds that Protoss can do compared to the Terran in that early game, because they have that much flexibility with their tech, with their building placement, and with their early game units, which are, undeniably stronger than Terran ones.
Yeah, we see a lot of like proxying and stuff like that at the moment, don't we? Sort of hiding those tech choices. And I think at the moment, Protoss really does have access to all three tech choices in this matchup. You know, you got your Stargate, you got your Twilight, and of course you got your Robo openings, the three standard tech choices, and they're all available. So Terran's got to do a really good job of scouting, I think.
Yeah, the first Reaper is, the definition of that scouting, and it is so important to keep that alive and get that in and out. Like, if you lose it to this Adept to the early game, without getting any scouting, you're in a really, really tough position as a Terran player. But if he's able to get in, and he's able to scout around, see what the building choice is, which is going to be Stargate, which Nox might have some inkling of, being an Adept opener. Adept's a very common opener if you're going to go for some tech early on, just because of the lower gas cost.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Obviously, you ain't got too much to worry about with the Stalker. The Adept can handle the Reaper with some, half-decent micro. So you don't have to spend that extra sort of gas on the Stalker, allowing that Stargate to get a little bit earlier, I suppose. But a bit of a weird choice, Phoenix first, right? Usually it's the sort of Oracle for the harass.
Yes, depends what ZAiN is looking for. This could very easily be Phoenix Adept.
Yeah, that was a really good kill.
That was a good scan as well. He saw the two Adepts and instantly is like, what is this? Sees the Phoenix out, sees another Phoenix. I think this is pretty much either going to be some heavy Phoenix Adept play from like 2017, 2016 style, or we're going to see Phoenix Colossus, which is like a really tough build to style to break, because you've got the Phoenixes there to take out Vikings, Medevacs, and then you've got Colossus that just melts Marines and Marauders, with only like a heavy number of Marauders and some really good multi-prong aggression, because those Colossus are the core of those army, and it's a bit slow. It struggles to get between different bases. But, if ZAiN uses that army to get pushed forward, to push into Nox's face, he's going to have a really, really good time.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we see the aggression already from the Protoss, sort of making sure those Phoenix are available on the map, lifting up a Widow Mine there. That's going to be a really good pick, to be fair, but also it lets the Protoss know that Widow Mine drops are probably incoming. So, get ready for that. Good pick on the Viking as well. ZAiN really good at the micro there, but a Widow Mine picks it off nicely. You got to love that Widow Mine. As soon as it goes off, you're getting a kill, don't you?
Yeah, and it's a really crucial pick off as well. Getting that single Phoenix just really delays the amount of time and increases the amount of resources ZAiN has to put in before he gets that critical mass of Phoenixes. Say usually about 8. It's more common in like TVP where you'll see like 8 Phoenixes coming and they will do a lot of damage. They can pick up workers just en masse, just demolishing everything. But losing these Phoenixes really early is not what he wants. He wants to spend that money on Colossus, which he's going to get with this Robo Bay, which is now building.
Yeah, it looks like there is a Widowmine drop heading for this main as well. No Stalkers in place yet. I don't believe there's an Observer there either. So this could actually do some good damage. Good probe pull there, but those Widow Mines are still very annoying, and Nox doing a really good job of just picking them up as well. One does go off, gets a single probe, I believe, and it looks like that Medevac's now heading for the natural as well, but there are Stalkers there already. Phoenix to come back, picking up the Widow Mine. Really good response by ZAiN there, really good micro as well.
Yeah, it was a little bit unlucky for that one Widow Mine shot to go into the gas geyser, which does happen when, you know, it targets a probe and it starts mining gas as soon as it fires. It's the worst thing to see because he only got one probe there, and it's not really worth the investment of, you know, those 3 Widow Mines. And did he get away with the medevac?
Yeah, the medevac actually made its way back home as well. Slightly bruised, but, you know, losing that early is a real sort of hindrance. It just, you know, disables the extra stims and whatnot late. So it's good to get it back. But the Phoenix are on the hunt, and another Widow Mine drop heading out as well. This could actually catch ZAiN off guard. Usually you get one, and that's it. There is an observer in place, but it's whether or not does he catch it. He is trying to really sort of scoot around the edge here, try to get in.
He really is. And you know, with the Phoenixes across the map, it's going to be quite hard for ZAiN to drop.
That's a good drop. Stalker's not able to respond. Widow Mine does go off. Gets a couple of probe kills. Colossus just chilling there and drop in the main as well. Didn't see how many that catch. 16 probes.
16. Oh, this is amazing for Nox, but that's only pulled him into like an equal worker supply right now. And with Nox's third base only just completing now, he's going to fall a little bit behind in worker supply if, you know, no more harassment carries on. But I think this is a good position for Nox. You know, he's got mules as well, so he's going to have a greater income once he gets those 3 bases set up. He's got his full production. And this is going to be a really good position for Nox, but I don't think it's out of the clear yet. And because these Colossus coming out in the field, Thermal Lance is on the way, giving that Colossus extra range, and there are still a good number of Phoenixes out in the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to really pick too many of them off. As you can see, they're all really, really low health, so ZAiN doing a really good job of keeping them alive. Marine does sort of spot them coming over again. He has got his army in place to try and kill them, but just unable to secure those kills. But it looks like ZAiN has absolute complete map control. He knows exactly what's going on. Observers in the right place, you know, Phoenix sort of taking control as well. And he's just happy to sit back on 3 bases. You can see him adding gates on. Thermal Lance halfway done, +1 almost done. 2 Colossus on the field, I believe, at the moment as well. That's going to be a deadly army. Good pickup here by the Phoenix as well. But targeting the mules, that's so clever.
Yeah, especially when it's like full life mules. It's so harmful to the Terran because they really want to like get everything out of those mules, especially against a Protoss who's going to be ahead in worker supplies. Obviously saw here, ZAiN was a little bit behind after that massive Widow Mine drop. He's now taken the lead again. He's got, you know, a good 5 worker lead here, and Nox needs those mules to keep up in that in those income counts.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we see 65 to 59 at the moment in favor of the Protoss. Obviously, mules make up that difference. But yeah, if you keep killing those full health mules, full lifetime mules, it's going to delay you even further. 4th base being taken by ZAiN now, but it looks like the drop's going to come in and just deny. That's a lot of medevacs loaded up.
Yeah, and this is the big weakness of Phoenix Colossus. It really struggles to deal with multi-prong because a lot of the army is just in this fast-moving Phoenix, which just can't deal with bio at all.
Yeah, this is really bad for Nox. Sorry, he's gonna manage to pick off a Colossus here, which is great, but he is gonna lose basically all of that for free. That's 3 medevacs. He might get the space. If he does, that's great, but no, Phoenix and Stalkers and Colossus coming in just to clean this up. Definitely in ZAiN's favor there, even though he did manage to snipe a Colossus.
Yeah, and he managed to get Colossus. He managed to deny the 4th base as well, which does slow down ZAiN a little bit, and it keeps him at home because Nox at all costs wants to keep this army at home. It is such a scary army. This is why you're seeing that ZAiN is taking this risk and pushing across the map constantly. He wants to shove his army down Nox's throat because that's where the armies are strongest. It's not good against multi-prong. It's very, very good against pitched battles, like we're probably going to see here, and this could be the deciding battle of the game.
Yeah, a little drop here in the bottom left on the natural, killing some probes. He needs to deny that +2, though. ZAiN's waiting for that for the timing. The army's actually coming back for ZAiN as well. He's decided not to push up. You're right. I think that was a game-winning push there, but he decides just to pull back, play it safe.
Yeah, I'm really liking Nox's play this time. I was a bit skeptical. It's like, you know, ZAiN's the favored player here, but he's really bringing it out for this first game here. He wants part of that prize pool.
Yeah, ZAiN keeping those Phoenix alive again, only losing 1 in that engagement, which is so good. That is a very low medevac. Oh, poor Marines.
Oh man,
Poor Marines. That's like out of an action movie, isn't it? When the helicopter gets shot down right at the last minute.
The last second.
But big army pushing up here. +2 already done. +2 on the way for the Terran army as well. Picks off a couple of Phoenix at the front line, but that's a lot of Protoss. Very powered up. You know, +2 weapons on there. Into the third base, which is an orbital. Colossus raining down death on that. Doesn't get the council. The army having to move back. The boys are being pulled back as well. He is probably going to lose his base, but a nice little drop again. Going to deny that fourth, but that's a lot of army to commit down here when the Protoss is bearing down on you. This is really scary for our Terran player here.
I think so, but the longer ZAiN waits to pull the trigger, try and kill Nox, the hardest it's going to be for him, because all these Marauders are really good against Colossus and Stalker, but these Zealot reinforcements are going to be so effective here.
Yeah, all the boys being pulled. 44 SCVs lost. Great force field on the ramp to stop the reinforcement. He might clean this up, but at what cost? Third base might go down as well.
Marauders left. This is so good for Nox. And this looks like he might actually be the winning move of the game here. He's took out the third base, he's defended his own.
He's going for the double drop in the main, sorry, as well. That's going to be good. Cannon's going to get taken out. He's going to pick off this production as well, which is so good. No reinforcement coming in. There's a lot of Zealots and Stalkers being walked in right now there. Yeah, if he can just pick up and sort of get out here for free, but the Phoenix are going to chase it down. That's not, you know what? That's not a bad trade at all for Noxa.
It's not a bad trade, but he can't really supply himself on this, you know, at all. If he keeps taking these sorts of losses, he'll just run out of steam here.
Yeah, I mean, 71 workers to 19 at the moment. I don't care how good you think mules are. There's no recovering that with just mules.
But with Storm out now, there's no Storms out in this army now. He's had to form into Archons. And when you've got Storm out, that's really not what you want right there. You want all those High Templars to go Storm. Yeah. And this army's looking really good for Nox right now. Yeah. With the army, with the upgrades like equal here, this is going to be really good.
Yeah, definitely. As we can see, Nox is pretty much all in. 19 SCVs. He's not remaking workers. He's sort of pressuring everywhere, but that drop gets picked off. That's not really where you want to drop, but Marine Marauder to the side, getting loads of damage as Archons absolutely melting, Stalkers melting, third base rebuilding, Zealots charge in. There is a Colossus out, but those Marine Marauders are very low at the moment, but they're still doing so much damage.
There it is, GG! Wow! God, man! Oh, I had my doubts, but Nox has really brought it out for this first game here. I think everything went wrong for ZAiN there. He just didn't have control, and Nox, with the constant mine drops, because usually Terrans only go for like one mine drop with maybe 2 or 3 Widow mines. Nox went for mine drop, and he didn't even reveal that with the very early, you know, Korean-style burrowing claws that you'll see out of like Cure, and a lot of them, maybe back mid-2019, they loved the burrowing claws. But he didn't reveal it too early.
No, definitely not. And again, you're right. That's not an upgrade we see a lot of, but Nox really sort of making use of it. Those Widowmine hits, even towards the end of the game, you know, getting really good splash damage. But my God, the control on the Marauders for the kite in, the SCV wall as well, won him that fight. It looked really bad with sort of 2 Colossus sitting in the back. ZAiN doing a really good job of keeping his Phoenix alive. That was an impressive showing from Nox there. Dropping everywhere, just controlling, knowing the fights he could win and cleaning everything up really well. I'm excited for game 2. This is gonna be a good series.
I think so, but can Nox keep that momentum up? It was a lot based on whether ZAiN could keep up with Nox that first game. Maybe ZAiN's gonna get into high gear this time and gonna go, hang on, I'm gonna take the steering wheel this time. I'm gonna maybe DT rush you, 8 gates, charge all in you, something crazy maybe this game. Or maybe ZAiN sticks to his guns. What do you think?
Do you know what? Seeing how ZAiN plays, he usually goes for something a little bit crazy. I'm expecting something a little bit crazy here.
Yeah, I think that ZAiN must have counted Nox out, similar to how I did at the start of the series.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you had the same sort of opinion, like, oh, they're 600 MMR apart. You know, Nox is going to struggle to kind of keep up with ZAiN, but Nox set the pace there, 100%. 100% he set the pace.
Phoenix Colossus is one of those styles that like usually do against players that are worse than you, just because it can be. It's got so many different moving parts to it, and it relies on taking good engagements, forcing the engagements where you want them rather than where your opponent wants them. So maybe he was doing that just because he felt very comfortable, but maybe it'll be a bit more standard game. If not, he might all in like you were saying. But shall we get our players introduced? Would you like to introduce our player in the bottom right?
Yes, definitely. So in the bottom right, we do have our lovely green Protoss, ZAiN.
And I'm going to put you on the spot again. It's all yours for the top left.
In the top left, currently 1-0. So scoreboard just needs to reflect that as well. We do have our excellent yellow Terran Nox.
Yeah, up 1-0 in this series. And, you know, is going for that same sort of barracks gas. Very, very standard in TVP. You know, most openers are going to be barracks gas into an expand, that Reaper expand, just because it gives so much flexibility in terms of defense against things like the Max Packs proxy gate sort of style, and against sort of macro styles. It gives you so much flexibility in what sort of builds you want to go for without forcing your own hand into, hey, I want to get a very quick factory out for, say, I want to go BCs or something crazy like that. It doesn't force your hand as much in that tech-wise, but it does pull you back in that tech in the same regard.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, we see the Reaper opening pretty much as 100% of all matchup. Both players sort of denying the ground expansion here. They are going to eventually get it down. NG Bay block against the Protoss, and he is going to get his CC down there with the Marine clearing everything up.
First, though.
Yeah, a little bit strange. Usually, obviously, as we were saying, you know, we see the Reaper first for the scouting, but I think he might be a little bit afraid of something, or he's going to get a nice big Marine push straight across the map, thinking that ZAiN's going to be up to something and this can catch him off guard. We'll soon see.
This is usually like a very early factory, which we're going to see. It's going to be a 4 Hellion harassment. It could even be 6 if he doesn't get a medevac out.
Yeah.
You usually want to get that Marine out first because it doesn't cost gas, so you can get that reactor straight away into a factory. That's usually what times to go for that Marine first for. But it does leave him very, very susceptible to, you know,
the exact thing ZAiN's doing, which is pushing across the map. If that bunker doesn't get up in time, he's only going to have 3 Marines by the time the Stalker Zealot gets there. Even less if he gets supply blocked here.
Oh, but the proxy's going to move out across map. Oh no, is he looking for proxies?
Yeah, it looks like it. I think he's just going to apply some pressure with this Zealot Stalker as well to the front. It's going to find it fairly undefended, but as long as that bunker's up, he should be absolutely fine. SCV sort of scouting what's going on. Yeah, immediately.
He's pulling all the boys as well. He knows exactly what's going on. And he's, you know, Nox is clearly prepared for this very well. You know, he's stopped building the Hellions. He's changed plan now. He's going into Tech Lab on his factory, where it looked like before he was going to go for a Hellions, just stop that factory placement. So this could very well be... Oh, it's going to be mines again. This is going to be Burrowing Claws. I think with the SEV move out across, it could have been a proxy armory. And it's good. It's in base armory now. He was looking to do proxy, so it's going to be a Burrowing Claws Widow Mine. So it turns out Nox really likes his Widow Mines. Really likes them. And
I mean, most Terrans do now, right? Especially against Protoss, because if you catch him off guard, it can be, as we said at the start of the series, absolutely game-end.
You've seen normal Widow Mine drops. You've not seen a Burrowing Claw Widow Mine drop.
Not in a long time. Not in a very long time.
Scary, dude. Like, even myself, when I drop, I'm like, oh my god, how do you even react to this? Because if you're not reacting in a split second, the whole mineral line could easily be gone.
Yeah, it looks like ZAiN is getting that obs out there. He's a little bit worried as to what Nox is doing. But by the time he sort of catches what's going on here, surely it's going to be a bit too late. But we see a 4 coming out here. Is it going to be a 4 drop?
What? Oh my god!
So we're predicting this wrong 3 times in a row now,
mate. Well, the record's against me, but I don't think anyone could predict this. Oh, the supply box though. This is really going to slow him down because now he has to wait for his medevac to push out, and this observer is going to move across the map, and it might end up seeing the Thor drop, but. I don't know if I like this against a Robo Twilight opening because it's very easy to.
It feels really late as well. It feels really, really late to do damage. I mean, this 4 isn't going to hit till about 5:30, 6 minutes. That feels really late to do anything, you know, bad to the Protoss. But you know, 4s are good units. They're strong. They can take can take probes down fairly easily. We'll just have to see, really. Love that animations on medevac as well. Love how it picks up the 4 at the bottom. But the observer sees it. And now ZAiN's going to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I would be asking the exact same thing because it's not it's not exactly hidden, is it? Got this big Thor dangling underneath the medevac.
And Stalker's in position ready, but he's taking the wide
I think
route.
he's looking to catch this on the map, and he's going to see it. Like ZAiN sees this and I think he might just blink underneath it and kill this.
Yeah,
but it might be too late.
Oh. Good reaction by Nox there. Good reaction. This Thor is not making it out alive.
Oh, nice pick off on the medevac though. And yeah, it's got what, 2 kills, I believe that was.
Yeah, not really a great trade, to be fair. Good micro by ZAiN as well, blinking a weakened Stalker. But now this Stalker's going across the map, and Nox doesn't really have anything at home to defend against this. Just now get Marine Marauder out.
To be able to defend this. At least the Observer's gone. That makes a big, big difference in terms of the Stalkers not being able to blink into the main. Because you don't really want to be walking forward into a bunker or blinking around that, because that's how you lose a lot of Stalkers. But with no Observer on the high ground now, you know, this is going to do very well.
Nice.
That was a very nice shot. Even with Blink being there, that shouldn't have really got any damage, but ZAiN is just making mistakes and mistakes this series.
Yeah, Liberator's sort of chilling now, just looking like it's going to go into this third base, and it's going to catch a lot of probes if ZAiN's not paying attention. ZAiN seems a little flustered to be 1-0 behind, you know?
Yeah, Nox is just making the right move after the right move every single time here. And
apart from this Liberators.
I thought it would have been better on the third base there, just, you know, because he had so much vision of it, you know, with the pylon on the low ground there. It gave him so much warning. If he'd gone straight for the third base, maybe he would have got more done. But ZAiN is not exactly in a bad position here. You know, these Stalkers aren't really doing a lot, but he doesn't really need them to do a lot. It's just there to pick off things, pick off SCVs, pick off Marines, and delay the 3 racks push that's coming out of Nox now.
Yeah, this is a really weird combination, but it looks like he just decided that the 4 didn't do damage, but no medevacs to kind of back this up, apart from the one carrying the big boy 4 there. This is going to be a good push, but I think ZAiN's just making cannons at home. I think he's ready for this. I mean, it's going to be a bit scary, but in all honesty, like, I can't see ZAiN falling to this at all.
No, the upgrades just aren't there. There's +1 armor out. There's on these Zealots, and that's really going to make it hard for these Marines to kill these Zealots. They're just not going to die, ever.
No, Stalker's blinking in as well, picking off a lot of damage on the file. Good medevac by Nox there.
Bio.
That is a lot of bio, and it's shredding.
He's still alive.
It's absolutely shredding. Sentries haven't really got a great deal of energy for those shields anymore, or obviously force fields. A lot of Stalkers, but there's not enough Zealots at the moment. The bio's just kind of shredding through.
And with the 4th and 5th racks down, this is an all-in. This is Nox is putting everything on the table here to win this game. He wants this. He doesn't care what it takes to win. He wants to win this game. He's pulling everything. Everything's being right. He's not even wasting money on combat shields here. He's just going for the win.
Yeah, I think he was looking for a 4th base. I'm not sure where Nox's path's going right now, but ZAiN obviously knows exactly where the army is. He's not afraid to fight in. Big clash here. Liberator in the main as well, but Can's going to pick that up. And again, you know, Nox just pushing back ZAiN. ZAiN doesn't realize how strong this army can be. And he's going to get caught a little bit here. A few extra shots going off, but that is now looking like an even match. Cyclone going in on the Stalker. That's good, but there's no medevacs here. And the Stalkers are just going to absolutely tear us apart. Good micro on the 4, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And the bio's just melting.
Yeah, with no combat shields on those Marines and the constant overstim, and it took so long to really push in and try and kill ZAiN. That's what lost him the game there. That's what made the Zealots look absolutely broken. Because before, they were just melting. The sentries weren't in position. The Zealots had no right to survive, but it took so long. He let ZAiN build up his Zealot count again, where before he was just taking good trade. He could have really pushed. If he kept pushing at the front there, I think he could have won the game. Rather than going all the way around to where he thought the 4th base was, if he'd gone straight for the jugular, I think he could have taken that off ZAiN and took the 2-0 victory in a big upset.
A bit of a weird sort of like game thing there. When you're all in, you tend not to like pick off external bases because that doesn't really do much. Usually, you're right. You should just go straight for the jugular. Try to cut their army. Maybe get into natural, stop the production. But like, if you're all in, you shouldn't really go to pick off a base. Like, that's not going to do a lot for you in the grand scheme of things. So a little bit weird. Interesting build, interesting composition from Nox. And we all thought ZAiN was going to play weird there, but it looks like Nox was the sort of weird build one there.
Yeah, I've been very enjoying this series so far. I'm loving what Nox is pulling out. I think if he advances out of this group, which, looking at how well he's prepared is, quite likely, to be honest. Maybe over ZAiN if he takes his last map. And then over maybe GamerRichy, who knows? He's got something special prepared for us, maybe for the playoffs.
I hope so, yeah, because Nox has really impressed me. It's been some, genius 200 IQ 4 build there. I like it. Probably hit a little bit later than he intended it to, but all in all, interesting way to play Terran.
Yeah, there was a lot of things that when you would scout it, you would think one sort of style. When the factory's built next to the reactor, you think, okay, Hellions. Okay, there's an armory in the base. Factory building tech lab. Okay, this is a tunneling clause. No, it's a Thor. Why is it a Thor?
I reckon he was just trying to confuse.
Why is it a Thor?
I think he was just trying to mess with the casters. He was like, haha, they're gonna think I'm doing this, but actually I'm doing 3 other things that it could possibly be. Oh. Do you know what? That is, it didn't quite work. It might have been, built against ZAiN, opening Stargate again, for being really, really good against Phoenix.
Very good.
But, let's see what he's got in store for us. Would you like to introduce our players?
Yeah, so spawning on the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss this time. He's currently tied 1-1 this series. He is ZAiN. And then you've got the man down the bottom left.
It is our yellow Terran, Nox, pulling out some incredibly genius builds. I'm looking forward to this. Or do you think this is just going to go standard? Do you think Nox is like, you know what, I tried something crazy. I'm going to just play my normal game here, and I'm gonna smash ZAiN.
Yeah, I think he played very well in his normal game in game 1, Phoenix Colossus, and maybe he does have something extra planned, because I don't think it really went his way that first game. We'll have to see if he goes for that Marine first again. See if he really wants to go through on the build he did last time. And no, he's going to build Reaper first. And it's going to be, on the other side, ZAiN's going to go for Cyber Expand this time, which is very, very safe. I think a lot of Protosses like to open this style, just because you get that Adept out very early or the Stalker out very early, and you're able to deny scouting very easily out of the Reaper. Otherwise, they're able to jump in and out, and they'll get everywhere, seeing all the tech choices you might be able to make.
Yeah, I've actually seen it being able to deny the natural expansion as well. If you manage to delay it long enough, the Adept can actually make its way across the map and sometimes that can really sort of throw you straight off your build. Your natural expansion goes down, you have to rally an SCV, but there's an Adept in your base, and just all that multitasking. And especially if you're a high level player versus a good player but still not quite on that level, it can really disrupt builds. So I'd quite like to see the aggressive Adept here, but I think it's just going to be used to deny the Reaper.
Yeah, that's given me a lot of flashbacks onto the old days, because they changed the Adept build time.
Oh, really?
They made it slightly longer, and that's what stopped those sorts of Adept pressures at the opening from happening. Before, okay. It was so frustrating. The Protoss constantly just got damage done. Oh my god, I'm so glad they changed that. But that was a long time ago, I think.
Oh, there you go. I'm completely out of the meta.
Not to worry. We'll teach you a little about TVP for the series, and everyone that ZAiN's in, because he's going to be facing a Terran in every single one of his matchups. So, for saying he's had one matchup to prepare, it's I've been a little bit disappointed with the variety in ZAiN's build, because we were saying ourselves that ZAiN is a cheeky player, one that can pull out some strange, wonderful, entertaining games, but he seemed to be playing very solid here for the most part.
To be fair, there's a lot on this. Obviously, advancing, top of the groups is a massive sort of step towards prize money. So trying not to pull anything too clever or too new that might fail, and sort of sitting back into old habits is probably a smart choice, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But you often see it like Epic, which has big prize money on the line. You'll go,
but your friends around you, you want to do some crazy stuff with everyone around you. But this is online.
He'll go like, okay, you're a low masters, high diamonds. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mass century you. It's literally what he'll do, and he's very unapologetic about it. It's very much a ZAiN style.
Yeah, we do see the Widow Mines in production, Medevac on the way as well. So I'm probably going to see some Widow Mine drops, I would guess.
Maybe So we're going to have a Twilight. Is this going to be just 2 gates? Twilight expand? Okay. So we've
That's
got
a
no
very
robotics
early
facilities
third.
down.
That's a very
it's just
early
gone down
third.
now. Yeah, it's very, very quick. He's delayed this robo for it. And he's just going to pressure with Blink Stalkers to try and keep it alive. And he is expecting a Widow Mine drop, which has been, Nox's style for this entire series. So just blindly going to be trying to defend that, which I think that's a good move, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree. Sort of, if you see your opponent do it 10 times in a row, the 11th time is probably coming. So yeah, definitely getting Stalkers in. But that early third is probably going to shake Nox, realizing that ZAiN's macro is probably on another level to his as well. So if they do settle into that long macro game, he is going to fall further and further behind. But to be honest, Nox pulled some really good stuff in game 1. So maybe that's not too much of a concern for him. I'm not sure.
Possibly not. And we are going to see this mass mine style that we saw in game 1 again. But, these supply blocks seem to be a big weakness of Nox's. It's probably where the skill difference lies.
I wasn't going to quite mention that, just because...
I am clearly a bit more brutal than you. Honest.
This is like, yeah, it's an honest mistake, playing at a high level for money, you're going to get a bit of supply. Good Widow Mine denial on the third, though. That's going to stop any sort of mining time. Good Widow Mine drop in the Nat as well. Not going to get much done. We're going to see one going into the main, but the Stalker's already there. Wow, ZAiN shut that down with practically 0 effort. Just losing pretty much a single Stalker and 9 probes. That's not...
9 probes is still big, though. That put Nox at a worker advantage here. And
I don't know if it was worth like 7 Widow Mines and a Medevac there.
The main thing, he's allowed his 1-1 push to do more damage. That's the thing. He's trying to enable his 1-1 push. Excuse me, his 3 racks push. That's likely to come with just +1 here. When his +1, his stim and his combat shields all line up, he's likely to push out and start dealing with all the damage. And now he's got stim out as right now. He's able to pressure across the map. He's able to push back these Stalkers. So I think this is a pretty good position here for Nox.
Yeah, I like it. And obviously, Concussive Cells just finishing as a Stalker push. Another Widow Mine drop as well. That's really, really good multitasking there by Nox. Stalkers pressure in the main, but they do get recalled as well. Another Widow Mine drop as well. He is absolutely everywhere with these Widow Mine drops.
Yeah, it is. Nox is playing a very, very good multitasking sort of style, and we're not going to see any less of that out of Mystic, who's going to be in our next match as well, who's known for his multitasking, his dropping style. So maybe Nox has taken a bit out of Mystic's playbook.
Yeah, I would definitely say that obviously he's been working on this. This is a style that he likes. Every game he seems to go for it, and he does a lot of damage with it. So that's great. I mean, he's actually ahead in workers right now, which is really impressive considering how early that third base was from ZAiN.
Yeah, and with the lost mining time of pulling those probes away from mineral lines to defend against the Widow Mine drops, and with mules being there for Nox, it's really, really good for Nox right now. He's taken that big supply lead because he's taken so much of an income advantage. 7
more workers killed. He is doing such a good job at delaying ZAiN, stopping any pressure at his front door as well, which is exactly what you need to do when you're waiting for sort of a +1 combat shield stim.
Really, yeah. And if you look at the units lost tab, 25 probes have gone down this game just to Widow Mine drops. We're 8 minutes in and 25 probes have been lost. If none of that had happened, ZAiN would be on 75 probes right now.
Oh,
and
easy, yeah.
Anything. He'd have Colossus out if he wanted, Storm, Disruptors, anything he wanted. He'd be like a kid in a candy store if he had all those 25 probes. But right now, he's not looking great. There's 5 Zealots out right now? 6 Zealots out?
Yeah, they're being warped in for the warp prism at the bottom there. But another Widow Mine drop heading for the main as well. Looks like 4 Zealots going to drop into the back of the mineral. But Nox is going to respond with a little Widow Mine drop of his own. And the army's sort of making its way across the map, which is not really where you want it to be when ZAiN's about to drop. But the Widow Mines are coming in. Good boost. He's going to get another couple of kills here. ZAiN is just off his game at the moment. I think 10 more probes go down.
I think so, but I think
he's doing such a good job.
I mean, that brings it up to 35 now, and the Warp Prism's going to come into the main. There's nothing really here to defend it, but he does notice it early. Oh my god. He's pulled so many Marines and Marauders, and his army's still at the front. And only these sentries are here to do any real damage. Good pickup here by Nox, saving loads of his units there, and all the Zealots are gone. The Zealots are the key part of holding this 3-rags push. They are the tank of this army here. They are the life of this army. Without those Zealots, you know, the Stalkers and Sentries just die to buy a big time.
Yeah, definitely. ZAiN, though, expanding behind this as well. Harass still going on with the Warp Prism, but there are units back at there waiting for it. We see the Widowmine upgrade. Oh,
he gets it! Oh my god, the 3
and the third Widowmine as well. And the Bio engaged into the Stalkers here. As you said, there's not much Zealots, so he's just kind of chewing through those Stalker shields. They are going to make their way back, and obviously Nox giving up the pursuit there, just because obviously all that is just so low. He needs to get that medevac count up, and then that army can just chase for days, just right across this map then.
For sure, there's just not enough Zealots to really contest with this army here, with +1. You know, the armor and the weapons are out.
He's gonna get it.
There's another Widowmine drop.
There's another Widowmine drop. Oh, you don't want to do. Oh no, ZAiN!
10, 45 probes now, and this is going to go for a Doom drop. This is going to be a repeat of game 1. ZAiN is being picked apart here by Nox, and if Nox wanted to go for this push, I think he could. I think he could win. The army supply difference is so big here.
Yeah.
But the issue is, there's going to be no Widowmines with the main army here. That's the biggest issue. And if these Zealots get too
There's still one in the mineral line. Oh, it hits the gas guys. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's...
This army isn't massive, though, and there's a lot of Zealots there that are going to tank. Good stim, good kiting there. Sort of picking off as many Zealots as he can, and good little drop into the main as well. That's going to cut the production. But this army can't really take a fight. There is a Widowmine there. If it hits the Zealots, it's going to be good.
Massive Widowmine shot. Takes off all the shields off everything. And
he's cut all the production. None of those gates can work, and there's still Widowmines in the main as well. He's absolutely shredding through these gateways. That's going to really inhibit ZAiN, and we're seeing a repeat of game 1 here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at Nox here, which we were all calling as like, nah, Nox is coming last maybe in his group here, and he's about to take out 2-1 that won the 3rd place Epicland finalists here.
Yeah, and gets the main as well. Escapes with both medevac. Oh no, one does go down, but he's still got one medevac, and the army's on the 3rd as well. That High Templar facility there is going to go down. That's no storms. That's unfortunate. Base goes down as well. Some tech goes down, and ZAiN's army's looking smaller and smaller and smaller.
But I think that Nox may have overextended here. This is a really overstimmed army. It's going to get chased down here.
And don't do drugs, kids.
There's not a massive amount back at home, but, you know, defender's advantage. There's plenty in the production tab.
He's in the main again, just picking off. He isn't going to get a chance to pick off the armor. That's kind of huge, actually. If he'd got that, that'd been really good. But the Stalker's absolutely blindly wandering into some more bio here. He's going to be able to chase him down, and he's dropping in the natural. He is absolutely everywhere. The Mana Mule!
Nox takes a 2-1. Going to the 3rd place. Epic 28 finalist. Was it 27? Who knows? But oh well, Nox, man, taking it 2-1. That's
the Mana
really
Mules.
Impressive, man.
The Mana Mules.
No, there were Mana Mules.
There were Mana Mules. Yeah, right at the end. There were Mana Mules.
No. Oh my good lord. That's incredible, man.
Nox, that is impressive play, my friend. That puts him top of this group.
Yeah, it puts him up into the winners match. Is this going to be GSL style groups?
Yeah, ZAiN sort of falling there, which I don't think, to be honest, anyone sort of expected Nox to go 2-1 there. But it looks like his grasp on TVP is incredible. That was an absolute display of exactly what Terran should be doing, which is dropping everywhere, harassing, slowing the Protoss down, not allowing them to do anything. I mean, the earliness of ZAiN's 3rd there, but the fact that he only really had gateway units that entire game is really, really worrying how, you know, much Nox controlled him. I thought that was incredible. As a Terran player, how did you feel?
That was very promising. I think we might have 2 Terran players advance here, despite my expectations at the beginning of the series, and that, that was interesting to say.
It's tough to get your words out right now, isn't it? Like, If I'm not, Sarah, I'm feeling really confident right now. Really confident.
I hope you're a fan of TVT, because that's what we're going to have in the winners match now, which is going to be after GamerRichy versus Mystic.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe we might have to go to a little bit of intermission soon, as we need to wait for Mystic and GamerRichy to get ready, and they are not quite online yet. Mystic's getting home, and so is GamerRichy, hopefully.
Okay.
Their presence is a little bit up in the air, as they're both busy people with work. They're not full-time pro gamers, unfortunately.
That's a shame, isn't it?
Richie's on the way. He's been picked up by
Peak, wasn't it?
Peak very recently, yeah, a League of Legends team, which have moved into UK esports for StarCraft 2 very recently.
Yeah, it's really sort of good that as we're seeing sort of teams from other esports bringing in, because the StarCraft scene's huge, but compared to like the percent market share against other esports is still quite small, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, look at the numbers of like CS:GO compared to even like IEM this weekend. So if we can get some like CS:GO money in, that'd be great. CS:GO teams, if you're watching, come sponsor some players. It's great as an esport. It's great to watch. It's good fun. Come spend your money. That's all I'm saying. Looks like GamerRichy is about ready. Don't know if Mystic is.
Yeah, but we've got both of them in game. Let's get ourselves sorted.
You know what? I'm still like kind of a bit shock and awe from that first game.
That first game,
I didn't think it'd be that exciting. I thought it'd just be a standard sort of TVP. Protoss builds an army, Terran tries to, but no, drops are everywhere. Bio was everywhere. Upgrades were on point exactly when they needed to hit. That was some really, really impressive play. I'm truly shocked. It was amazing.
Yeah, I think he really pulled it out for that game, and that was scary good. I wasn't expecting him to take out ZAiN at all. Maybe get a map if he was lucky. That was my beginning expectation. I know I keep coming back to this, but like, I need to put it out there that ZAiN is a big favorite there. Big favorite.
Yeah. He's a very, very high skilled player. Even when he's kind of like messing about as well, he still wipes the floor with most people at his MMR when he's not even doing proper bit. So it's a bit confusing. The only thing is, like, I think Nox could have probably went 2-0 there if he didn't try the proxy 4 in the second game. I'm still not sure what kind of possessed him to do that, but I'm sure we'll find out someday.
Yeah, like Nox turned up to Epic LAN. It was back in 2017, October 2017, or it might have been November. I think it was October 2017. And he did not pull out the sort of play that he did today. He came like 4th in his group at 2 and 3. And then he got knocked out pretty quickly in the group stages by GamerRichy, who's in a group with him. And then also by Fofog, now Red Dragons Zeroy. That was a long time ago. That's when Infinite Edge were like really, really big into StarCraft. They were playing constantly. Now he's moved on to the DOH, and he's playing very, very well against ZAiN, especially.
Yeah, you can tell how much he's like practiced these builds as well, because it seems like no matter what ZAiN did, he was ready for it. He knew exactly what he was thinking. He was dropping in the right spot. Yeah, just incredibly impressed. I know I've said that a few times, but I just can't stop thinking about how good of an example of a Terran that was.
Yeah.
So we've got GamerRichy Mystic next, which obviously TVT. Then we've got the winners. So it'll be a TVT now, TVT next. So I'm settling in for a long series, although both these players are really, really aggressive. So we might see a fairly quick games.
Maybe. Mystic and GamerRichy are very aggressive players. Mystic, very, very focused on drop styles, and GamerRichy is... He summarizes himself, I don't know, he has the motto stim and win. So he's also going to be very aggressive. And if you watch his stream, he streams a lot. I believe he streams more or less every day under the Peak Esports name.
Yeah, I do tune in. I see him dropping absolutely everywhere all the time. And just being generally really aggressive Terran, which is the way Terran should be played, to be fair. Like, Turtle Terran is a different monster altogether. Usually involves mech, and as far as I know, mech can't stim.
Yeah, that's that's a very good point. But we have seen Richie do a little bit of mech in TVT. And I heard him talk about a little bit about it. If you're known to go mech, you'll likely just get all in.
Yeah.
It's, you know, if someone's like, oh, okay, he just goes mech, I'm just going to all in and very, very quickly get it over with. You don't really want to be facing a 200 maxed out mech army.
No. It's like the old adage, like, how do you beat 200 mech? Don't let them get it.
Yeah,
you all in them about 7 minutes. That's how you beat 200 mech.
Fortunately, the game is a bit more. Now we're in Legacy of the Void. We're in a position where even when it gets to 200 mech armies, they are still beatable with Liberators, with BCs. Even when they're unsieged, you know, it's very easy to come down with a nice full surround. Marauders are very good now, so they're very good against taking armored units. But I don't think we're going to see that in this series.
No, I think it's going to be double bio. That would be my guess anyway. Both players obviously really favouring drops. I think we're gonna put Exo to the test, watching all those drops happen. But
maybe. But I think
let's introduce the player, shall we?
I think our player on the top left is a bio player, and he is formerly representing Wardy TV. He is Mystic. And we'd like to introduce our player down the bottom right.
Definitely. So, representing Peak UK Esports, it's the Red Terran, your favourite. Streams obviously absolutely loving it. GamerRichy.
Whoa, you can't say he's my favourite. No bias, man.
I know that. I was saying generally the stream's favourite. From what I've seen in the stream, there's a lot of support for Richie.
This is very true. I mean, maybe I have a little bit of bias. Maybe I have a little. Oh, I'm not subscribed to GamerRichy, and I can't spam the chat with Stim and Wins. That's a shame.
I was going to say, I can see his emotes.
He's not my favourite Stim and Win. There's loads of spam in the chat of, you know, the Stim pack. You know, that is GamerRichy through and through, and probably likely to see, you know, we're going to probably see maybe a single Raven into like a Stim with tank pushes, or maybe we might see something a bit more technical early game. We might see, you know, a 2-base sort of tank Viking push. It could even be 1 base if they're really tricky here. But, you know, we are seeing both players go for that 2-gas opener. Richie's going to go for the factory expand style. He's going to pull guys off his gas. And so is Mystic, actually.
Yeah, almost identical, actually, pretty much identical build so far, down to the exact timings of CCs going down. The only slight difference is obviously Richie going for a slightly earlier supply depot, and it looks like Mystic's planning on the tech lab and the reactors as well. So just a slight difference in builds, but I suspect that will pretty much catch up in the next 60 seconds or so.
I think so, but these extra Reaper and these extra Hellion is really going to make a difference. So much that I don't think the high ground is actually going to make any difference, and that's actually really scary for Mystic. He needs this Cyclone out, otherwise he's not going to be able to hold this incoming Hellion Reaper push that's going to come across the map any second now.
Yeah, usually, obviously, you do see the high ground being used to advantage, but it looks like Richie's just playing defensive here. He's worried about a bit of aggression from Mystic by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think both players being known for being aggressive, it kind of cancels itself out. Richie having the advantage here, he could really push into this natural right now while that Cyclone is still building, but he's not going to because he feels that maybe Mystic is going to do the same because there's very little in the way of scouting. Both players went for the Reaper, the factory expand, so they went for a little bit of a supply, a SEV scout just to see, oh, you're going for 2 gas as well, you're probably doing the same as me, that sort of thing. But that's it. They haven't seen exactly what specifics there is. GamerRichy doesn't know there's going to be a Cyclone on the field. It's a bit of a tango here.
Yeah, it looks like he sort of took that, path that wouldn't be guarded there just to kind of look up the ramp. Because, as you know, with Vision and StarCraft 2, if you try to fight up a ramp, that can really screw up the AI. So obviously the team on the top gets that first couple of shots, which in an exact mirror match is the thing that makes you win.
Absolutely. It's just these little, when you have the same amount of things, the tiniest bit of advantages can turn like the game into a big snowball, and instantly, you win. All these two armies passing each other, and Richie, without his Cyclone in position, really, it really hurts him because he's going to take losses that he didn't want.
No, Mystic going for that earlier Raven as well. We're starting to see a lot more Raven use, especially in TVT. What do you make of it?
So Ravens used to be like really, really big before the nerf, where they nerfed the amount of energy it costs to lockdown, for example. It went from 50 to 75, which it is now. You used to see people go for like 3 Raven tank pushes, and that was a meta. And it was like you'd see Hero Marine going like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna build 4 Ravens and lock down his Raven so I can lock down more of his stuff. It just became an absolute mess. But now it's kind of come back to just a single Raven, maybe 2. But if you get 2, it forces your hand into, hey, I need to push. Whereas a single Raven, you have the versatility of, hey, I can go 3 CC if I see he's going for like a 3 racks sort of bio push, which isn't too timely because of the prevalence of the Raven.
Yeah, good little harass there by Richie as well. Getting a few SCVs and disrupting mining. Not too much damage done. I'm not sure if I'd want to trade 3 Reapers for that, but it wasn't bad. It was a good scout as well, obviously. Seeing exactly what Mystic is up to, knowing that they're pretty much still on equal footing here, almost identical. Obviously, Mystic having the slightly bigger army, constantly making Ravens, but that's a big investment in Ravens. If they don't do much, get shot down by Marines, it can seriously affect the turn the side of battle as well.
Yeah, anti-armor missile in a big Marine versus Marine battle, it's incredible the amount of difference it does. Because each of your Marines are doing 3 more damage than they would do. It's insane.
Yeah, did you see the thing about the hallucinations doing damage with anti-armor missile as well?
That, but fortunately we got no Protoss.
No, that's a shame. I want a TV2 just to kind of mess with it and see what happens. But Mystic ready to take an engagement here, but Richie's got some really good siege tank placement, so he's going to find it really hard to kind of push up, unless he leads with the Ravens, of course, and sort of stops those siege tanks from firing, but we'll soon see.
Yeah, that's exactly what these Ravens are going to do. They're going to shut down these tanks of Richie, and he's looking to push in, because this is a lot of Marines. Stim isn't finished yet, so he's going to rely on maybe auto turrets after he's finished with those lockdowns, because there's only going to be 1 tank in position here. He's going to have plenty of auto turrets to spare, and that's going to be a lot of damage. And it's not even going to waste the money on the lockdown. He doesn't need it. He's just going to turret his way to victory here.
Yeah, those auto turrets sniping off the first few tanks. Obviously, Cyclone's moving in as well. They are fighting up a ramp here. Looks like Richie does have the little bit of the advantage. Tank's not quite doing the damage they need to. Richie's tank, he managed to hold that, but he has denied that 3rd base from landing, which obviously denying mining time. While, of course, Mystic at home is already got his base nearly fully saturated.
Yeah, but the issue with having this many Ravens is it really denies your, delays your stim pack. So with Richie having, the build that gives him more Marines than Mystic, he's going to possibly get a surround off, get the stim in, and kill off these 3 tanks, which is going to give him a massive army advantage. More than he already has right now, because he got a tank in that engagement.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a Raven harassing the main as well going on, probably just dropping an auto turret down there.
Sure. He's going to get a couple of as well.
That's not a bad trade, and obviously denying those reactors as well, the looks of it.
Oh, and auto turrets are just so powerful. Getting so many kills there. Just 2 and just a tank and a couple of Marines is really big as well.
Yeah, Richie still hasn't got that 3rd base down, but he does have +1/+1 finish, stim ready, combat shields on the way. He's pushing across with a decent amount of Marines. He might be able to snipe this 3rd base if the tanks aren't set up properly.
He's going to get a lot of SEV kills here, and that's really going to change the game here for him. It's going to bring him back into this.
Don't think those medevacs can escape, though. No, they definitely can't, not with that amount of Vikings. So Marines naked now. They're going to have to try and trade as best they can. But no, it looks like Mystic's given up the chase there, which is probably smart considering the amount of siege tanks he had.
Yeah, he has no Marines to really chase us down. He's behind in upgrades here, where Richie's gone for the very, very fast upgrades. But
God, Ravens are so annoying.
They're actually crazy in the amount of damage they do. They used to be more powerful.
You don't want to lose him here, though? You don't want to lose one?
Oh, he gets one. That's
that
a really
hurts.
nice pickup.
That really hurts, yeah. That's
Now
one
that
less
Richie's
auto
back into
turret.
focusing, he's getting his 2-2 here, where Mystic's not even finished his 1-1.
Losing Vikings for free as well. That's a big hit as well. That was 3 Vikings for 1. Again, these little small edges that Richie seems to be sort of like scraping here is going to make a big difference soon.
Oh yeah, for sure. But Mystic is using his big tank advantage here to be a bit greedy, take this 4th base quite a bit earlier than GamerRichy, who is also taking his base. And he's going to be taking the very close
Yeah, I like that expansion choice there. It looks like Richie's armies, but it's scanned. He knows, obviously, Mystic knows where I am. He's got a massive amount. I mean, that's how you lose TVTs, right? It's pushing into tanks.
Yeah, very much so. And with that in mind, that's what both players have taken these different 3rd base decisions for. Like, we see that GamerRichy is taking this forward 3rd base. He wants to be aggressive. You can see his rally point is like crossing by his 3rd base, so it's very quick for him to reinforce against drops, against pushes, and he can just rally across the map very happily here without thinking about keeping units at home, that sort of thing. So he's able to be very aggressive with his entire army, where Mystic is having to cover every single different spot. He's having to keep half of his army up at his 3rd base, while his 4th base is being attacked, and Richie doesn't need to do that because of his nice rally point position.
Yeah, Richie losing, sort of denying that 4th base, but losing quite a few Marines to tanks. We see Mystic moving across the map with a big bunch of Marines. But Richie's 2-2 is going to finish way before Mystic. So if he decides to take an engagement there, that's going to be bad. Mystic taking a really good opportunity. It's pushing to 3rd. That 3rd is going to go down. That is a lot of DPS.
Yeah, and this is where we see like the faster upgrades, the weakness of that is coming in. He's spent so much money on eBays and upgrades that he's not having much in army now. He's really struggling to spend his money on, well, the lack of money, should I say, that he has on units. And he is behind in that army supply because he spent more money on those upgrades.
Yeah, but that was a really good trade for Richie there, sort of regaining a bit of that ground. Tank sieging up now, but those Marines are very low. They're running in.
There is no way this pushes in.
No, Richie taking a really bad trade there and realizing that he probably has to GG.
Yeah. GamerRichy, I don't think he was a bit too aggressive for his upgrade. Like, he didn't have a lot of units, and he was very aggressive with. That was the issue there. His units were better, but he wasn't trading as efficiently as he could be. And Mystic constantly was just ahead in army value, just because of those constant little trades that put Richie behind constantly.
Yeah, don't forget that Raven is harassed as well. Those Ravens sort of keeping Richie a little bit back, denying those SCVs, adding the extra multitask. Those Ravens got like 15, 20 kills, as well as denials on tanks, Marines, etc. Richie was, 15 workers behind most of that game. And when you're looking at a mirror matchup where you're doing near identical builds, and of course you're going for those early upgrades and more of, that's where that sort of 30, 40 army supply appeared from. And that just really meant Mystic that could, absolutely annihilate Richie's army. When those Marines were stimming in, they were already low. They were stimming into like 6 or 7 tanks. I don't care how good your multitasking is. I don't care how good your stutter step is. Pushing into that with low Marines is just going to end badly.
Yeah, there's just so many tanks, and you just could not push into that number of them, not with that many Marines. And he instantly saw that many tanks, and he just GG's out because he's got no Marines left. He's got no tanks of his own. And once those tanks get in position of his natural or 4th base, because his 3rd base is dead, remember, then it's pretty much game over at that point. And I think he GG'd early just to save his fans the crying and the slow death of Richie.
Yeah, I think in mirror matchups, you're much more likely to GG early. When you're behind, how you can recover. And, I know there's a lot on the line here. Going through these groups is, leading to a decent prize pool as well. But I think Richie just knew heart in heart that he was not going to be able to recover against that many tanks, especially because obviously Mystic, all he has to do is walk down, siege up between the natural and the 3rd. And it's really tough for Richie to do anything about it. So we're going to move into Triton here. Again, because it's a mirror matchup, not much to say about the maps because both players, probably like, yeah, okay, whatever. But what's Richie going to do different here? Or do you think we're going to see much of the same?
I think Richie is someone that relies on his, bedrock of Marine tank and TVT. you know, no matter who you are, I've got Marines and I'm going to come at you with my stim, I think is a famous Richie quote. It's
he has a few good quotes, doesn't he?
There are many good Richie quotes, and I think that he's just going to rely on, you know, his bedrock of Marine tanking TVT. He's not going to put any funny stuff apart from maybe he used to like to go for a lot of like proxy starports, maybe a Liberator, maybe a Banshee, but I've not seen that out of him in quite a while.
That's a weird placement on our barracks, right? Is he going to float that down?
I think it might just be a slight hide so that, you know, if Mystic goes for the you know, the factory expand, he's only going to scout at the ramp, and like he doesn't really want to go much further. Maybe he thinks straight away, hey, cool, this is a proxy Reaper sort of thing. He's gonna scout around himself for some proxies as well.
Yeah, it looks like both players are kind of going, I don't want to lose to 2 racks. So just going to both sort of like check the corners and have a look. Although I did see GamerRichy do that last game as well. So maybe it's just a thing that's kind of inbuilt in them. You know, he's lost to 2 racks way too many times on the ladder. So just double check that proxy location.
I'm going to be brutally honest, and I know GamerRichy won't like this. And I think that Richie is quite paranoid.
Oh, okay.
Player. And I think that's what he's doing here. He's thinking that, Mystic is a cheeky bugger. He's gonna try and take one out of me from, you know, a 3-rack Reaper or something crazy like that. And yeah, it's confused Mystic a little bit. He's had to force in that SEV a little further than he wanted, losing quite a bit more mining time than he wanted there. And he is at risk of losing that SEV to a Reaper as well when he jumps in there. But reactors straight away on the barracks is going to be this is going to be double Reaper.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. If you can scout this early, it's not too difficult to hold. The easiest way is usually reactor on your barracks straight into Hellions. But with Mystic having a very early factory out himself, he can get plenty of Hellions out and he'll be fine. But you've got to remember, this is a lot of gas investment here. So we're unlikely to see something like Banshees coming out of GamerRichy. And it's also going to deny his, he's going to delay, his natural expansion quite a bit here.
Yeah, we've seen him fall behind in game 1 to, some really, really good macro of Mystic. So I'm a little bit concerned why he's done such sort of a, aggressive build when likely is you're going to up against the Hellion, which, Reapers against Hellions is not great, but in decent numbers, they're absolutely fine. It looks like he's making 2 more as well. So he is planning on being really aggressive. Mystic sensing that and putting down a bunker as well. That's some really good play.
Yeah, when you see that reactor on the barracks in the early game, you know you need that bunker. No matter what build you're doing, you need that bunker. Because it's not in the very first parts of the reactor Reaper that is scary. It's once you get 4, 6 Reapers up, and there's going to be constant, Hellions and Cyclones being produced right now, and we are going to actually see Cloak here, and this is cut into his production here, so he can't actually build any more Reapers, he can't build any more Cyclones or anything like that. So this is an interesting side. He's just going to go straight in here, try and get as much damage as possible.
Yeah, get round that bunker, get some SCVs. Yeah, the Cyclone's going to put an end to this, but he's going to get full scout. And, 3 Reapers do make it away. Killed a couple of SCVs, got the Hellion, knows exactly what Mystic is up to. Not bad, not fantastic, but definitely not bad.
No, he wanted to kill, 4 or 5 workers there. This is not what Richie wanted. This is really bad for him, actually, to be honest. Because his CC is so late, he's not even building his orbital yet. He's got to finish that CC, he's got to build it into an orbital before he can start building SEVs yet. So he's going to start falling behind in this worker count here. And 2 or 3 workers might not sound like a lot of difference, but in a TVT, when that's 10% difference in worker count, that's an insane difference. And even that's an extra mule as well, because it's the earlier orbital, and they themselves give so much more income. That could be an extra tank. That mule is a tank and a marine sort of thing. It's a lot more income, but he's hoping to get that back with the Banshee now, because he's not laying off that aggression here.
The unfortunate thing is, obviously, Mystic with the Reapers scouted that, Tech Lab research in the Starport producing Raven almost out as well. And, Richie could have got away with it there, but it looks like he's trying to kill the Cyclone rather than workers. I mean, I'm no Terran expert, but I prefer to kill those SCVs at this stage. Banshee does make it away, so not bad at all. Not bad investment there. The Banshee's just going to be annoying. Keep that Raven at home. Cyclone doing some good damage. Second Banshee coming in, hoping just to do more damage here. Second Raven on the way from Mystic, though, and I think this Banshee play is going to be pretty much shut down.
Yeah, it usually is, because the meta in TVT is to go for Cyclone Raven. And it's only once you get into those multiple Banshee counts can you really get any actual damage harassment-wise done. You can be a bit tricky. You can jump on the Cyclone before it can lock onto you, and then the Cyclone, the Banshee wins the 1v1 there. But if the Cyclone gets a lock on the Raven there, the Cyclone will win every time. So it's quite risky. And you can see only 3 SCVs done. It's not really a lot done for the investment. But behind it, we're going to see a tank Banshee push here. And that's going to be really quite strong if Mystic isn't aware of it. And I don't think he is.
No, I think he was just expecting Richie to sort of harass and then pull back. He does have a tank in position. He does have a bunker. But the main of this army's, literally sat in the top of the main here. I think he might have just caught the edge of that tank there, but he doesn't look like he's moving anything. Tank's going to set up on low ground. Banshee going in. Raven picking that off straight away. Siege turret coming down, but no, Mystic just has too much here, I think.
I think so. And you saw the Raven counter.
Wow.
Mystic with the 2. What is this group? BMU, what is this group? I don't like it. What is this? Are we going to see like Nox and Mystic advance?
Well,
I don't know. I'm scared.
This is not how I thought this would go.
I don't think this is how any of us thought it would go, but yeah, this is an interesting group so far. And you got to remember, there's a lot of money on the line here. If you advance out of the group, you get 15 quid. There's 15 pounds on the line as soon as you win, which is pretty good. You go to
that's like that's like a breakfast for you and 2 friends at Spoons. It's not bad.
When you put it that way, that's not that impressive. Come on, man.
It's like 10 Jaeger bombs if you go to like really bad dive bars.
Like 3-4 weeks, you could get a breakfast at Spoons, which are renowned to be cheap.
Yeah, I suppose when you really put it like that, I suppose. But still, it's money for doing something you love, and that's always good money in my eyes. Why don't you talk about the tournament a little bit? Sort of the prize pool and how players are getting here, what's going to happen.
Yeah, so we are part of the UKSC2 community, and I've been playing a league like this for a long, long time, and I really wanted to get it through, and it took me a long time to get time off every Monday and Thursday at the very least. It took a lot of negotiations to get those days off so we could have a constant every week sort of tournament like this. And I put down 200 of my own quid.
200 of your own pounds.
Yep, and then there's 50 from Risky, and then there's $250 from Wardy, and quite a bit of money. I think there's an extra $100 from very, very kind people in the UK community that have donated via Matcherino. Bring the prize pool to, I think, is around, what is it? It's about $650, which is
about £550, sort of £500.
Yeah, let's have a look what it is.
It depends. It's very in fluctuation at the moment. Should we put it that way?
There he is. Brexit's a fun one, isn't it? So it's £529 total prize pool right now.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
In true UK fashion, we've really extended the prize pool out. So the winner gets 40%, and then it goes down and down. And the top 8 get money, which is 3% each. Top 8 do. So just make it into the playoffs. Just by getting out of this group stage, you win money, and that's what I wanted, just to get, rather than be like winner takes everything like you see in some tournaments, or first, second, third place prizes. Oh, I've invited the wrong person. Excuse me, Barry. I'm multitasking.
It's like, oops, you didn't win, did you? No.
This is why I'm like hard stuck Masters 2, is because I can't multitask at all. Doing something across the macro home? No, I can't do it.
That's fine. It's a good thing we're observing, not playing, because I think those games would have been a lot shorter if I was playing.
Yeah, so
although still better than the IAM finals, that's all I'm saying.
I hope it will be better than the IAM finals, but I'm pretty sure people will
Can't be
put money
worse.
down on a risky Razor Blade finals again. I think that is the most likely, I think, to be honest.
I mean, it's quite a possibility, let's be honest here. But you know, there's some decent talent in there, and as we've seen today already, anything can happen.
Yeah. It's I don't think anyone expected this match outside of the losers match. And it'll be sad to see GamerRichy or ZAiN be eliminated in the next series after this. It'll be sad to see them go because they're both big characters in the UK community, and I genuinely don't know who would win that match. I honestly have no idea. I could see they could be any combination right now. I had before the match, before this series thing. Sorry, excuse me. Before the what is the word? The tournament today, the session today, the group. That's the word we're going to go.
That's the word. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. I was like, okay, mate. I couldn't decide on first, second, third, but I thought Nox might come last. But now, no, Nox has blown it out of the water. Mystic has shown incredible TVT. I genuinely do not know what to expect. I actually have no idea.
Well, I mean, I kind of knew what to expect coming into this, but yeah, I've been completely proven wrong so far.
Yeah, I think there'll be some sad GamerRichy fans if he does drop out in the next season. But there'll be some very happy Infed people if Nox wins this series versus Mystic, which is it's actually incredible to think about. It's such a turnaround for for Nox, who didn't have the best of turnouts last time he came for a UK tournament, but now he's just crushing it, man. What is happening? There's been some epiphany in his head. It's incredible.
Sometimes that switch just goes off, doesn't it? And you know, people just suddenly sort of find that leak in their game, you know, that flaw that's being exploited, and just really sort of, you know, pounce on it, fix it, and all of a sudden they're, you know, big winners. So it's going to be another TVT.
Another TVT.
Another TVT. I mean, it's kind of hard to avoid TVTs in a group with 3 Terrans.
Yeah. We are definitely going to have a Terran in the round of 8 for sure. So it's going to be better than IEM. Don't worry, guys.
If you're a Terran fan.
Hang on.
Is Mystic on a team, or is he currently teamless?
I think he's between teams right now.
Between teams. Good political way of saying it.
He used to be on TSI, Team StarCraft Improved.
Okay.
That was many, many years ago. You know, Mystic is one of those people that has been inactive for a long time, and has only now, very recently, come back. His first tournament back was Epic 29, just gone, literally a couple weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Wow, was it 2 weeks already? Wow.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago already. We're Epic Land. It feels so quick because it genuinely is only really a 2-day event. Like 3 really, but not really.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
it's so short. It's so short. Epic Land should be longer. There should be an extra day in there for sure.
The recovery time is longer than the actual LAN, I think.
It is sad, but we are into our first game of this winners series between our player down the bottom right hand side. He's our yellow Terran. He's representing the Drunken Outlaws. He is not.
And in the top left, we have the blue Terran, Mystic. So I expect to see a lot of what we saw last game between GamerRichy. You know, similar builds, openings, probably a lot of macro from Mystic. Do you know what? Nox showing us his aggressive playstyle versus
TVT.
Protoss.
He's always into his mech.
Yeah. Oh, is it mech always? Is it?
He's a mecha. He's a mecha.
Okay. It's a little bit surprising, just because how aggressive his TVP is. Expect him to sort of, you know, mimic that in his other matchups as well.
Well, when we say mech, we don't necessarily mean turtle mech like it was years ago. There is quite a bit of movement now because you've got a lot more Viking Liberator.
Yeah.
You can be a lot more active. It depends what style of mech that Nox needs to take, because mech is so diverse nowadays.
Yeah.
It's, you know, hit with the kids where you can go for battle mech and, you know, Hellion Cyclone. Yeah,
Sounds
that's
like
what they
a
call it now.
kids TV
You
program.
haven't seen the best name for it though.
Go on.
Ferrari mech. Man, you are so behind on
I'm
the
gonna take a
man.
short break. I can't deal with it.
Really race car mech and Ferrari mech. Because it's brum brum, it's literally makes you know the cyclone going, it makes a brum sound. The Hellion goes,
it
makes
just
a
rhymes
drum
with like
sound.
lethal
It's actually
Bizzle, like
hilarious.
Rari workout, like Rari mech. Like what's going on?
Yeah. We're literally in Disney's cars right now. That's what it is. It's an interesting one with mech, but with Hellion Cyclone, it's a bit less viable versus Bio, to the point where it is unviable because one good stim, if you catch them out of position, there's just that much DPS, the whole army's gone. That's the issue with it.
Yeah, that's the kind of issue with mech in general, and it has been since StarCraft 2 came out. It's like if you lose that army badly, that's it. you can't win. Good deny on the supply depot there, picking up an SCV as well. Just those little edges there really make a difference. And Mystic just sort of ahead here, I would guess, just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but we're going to see Nox possibly pull further ahead. Losing those two SCVs at the start is really big because right now they will be equal in supply, in worker supply, and Nox having that earlier command center, like we said in the previous series, he's going to pull ahead in that worker supply. Just because he's going to have more mules, he's going to have more SCVs coming out. But, Nox hasn't got perfect SCV production here. Mystic is very, very good about constantly producing these SCVs. That's why, despite only killing 2 SCVs, he's now ahead 3, now 4 SCVs, which I don't think this second CC is actually going to make up.
No, it's going to take a little bit of time to sort of kick in there and get ahead, and that's only if Mystic doesn't start being really aggressive and Nox falls out of sync with his worker production. But these two players are really, really good. I doubt the little sort of aggression is going to throw them off too much. But Mystic being really good at sort of controlling the map and seeing what's going on, he is going to get a Reaper.
He keeps getting this Reaper in. How does he keep getting this Reaper in? This is incredible, man. It's just he does get it lost now, but it took Hellions to take that down. He got, that's one of the units got an SCV kill there, which it's put Mystic ahead now. He's putting him at equal here. Nox is only just now going to catch up now that Mystic's command center is finishing up, and his extra tech hasn't kicked in yet, and it looks like he's going to go for the exact same build as he did versus GamerRichy.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it at the end of the day. Raven's coming out from Mystic. We can probably see, 3 or 4 like before as well. Reaper gets in. There's just no denying that scout unless you put units up there. It's going to just get a little scout, but it's going to get picked off by Marines. Maybe? Yeah, it has to get picked off here, right? Yeah, there we go. I was going to say, there's no letting that Reaper back out. But we're looking at the vehicle weapons upgrade from Nox here, so it looks like he is going to fall into that mix style.
Yeah, he likes that armor, doesn't he? He likes that armor upgrade. I guess it allows his units to survive that a little longer, which is really, really key. Like, if a Marine shoots, it's going to do 1 less damage. And if there's 20 Marines, there's 20 less damage you take in on those mech units.
Yeah, upgrades incredibly important, more so in mirror matches, I feel. It looks like the double Hellbat drop going to fly across the map here, and this actually might get some damage.
I've been watching Nox's stream a little bit, and he really likes to incorporate, Hellbat drops into his army, because they're really good if they've got a big packed up bio army and you drop a load of Hellbats on them. The Marines are usually already fighting those siege tanks or anything at the front already, and they're just going to completely ignore the medevac sailing over across, dropping death on top of them with those blue flame Hellions.
Yeah, Hellions are absolutely
absolutely incredible. And we're going to see the multitasking again come out of Nox. But I think
it looks like double Hellbat drop and Hellions in the front here. But yeah, Mystic's army is really, really well set up. Looks like the drop in the top is getting slowed down or denied. This drop is going to go down as well. Wow, that was really, really, really good for Mystic though.
Yeah, no damage was done whatsoever. He lost everything. Lost a medevac and 2 Hellbats. Did he keep another one alive?
No, 3. 1 dropped, I think, and got annihilated straight away.
Yeah, I couldn't see because it's right at the top. I was like, where is it? It's still alive. It's still alive.
Yeah, it looks after like winning that engagement here. Mystic's just going to push across the map. He does manage to catch a couple of Hellions as well, just reducing that army size by Nox quite a lot. And this is a little bit of a scary army coming across.
There's nothing at home for Nox. There's only Hellions. And
a little bit of drop grass here, but no, that tank's going to shut down any sort of drops here as well. So it's going to get very, very little damage. Although the tank is taking a lot.
Are you sure?
Wow, sure. Hellbat's good unit, man.
But this push is just so scary here out of Mystic. There's no tanks, there's no zone control here out of Nox here. And he's really going to struggle to hold this back with just maybe Hellbats if he turns them into that. But
it looks like he got really
so scary.
Yeah, Cyclone's going to get a lot of damage. That's a lot of Marines. Tanks set up in the back, looking for the engage. The bulls have been the boys have been pulled even. Hellbat's dropping there. That's good micro by Nox, denying the siege tank as well. But that is a lot of Marines.
I think Mystic likes this push. It's working very well for him.
Yeah.
As we do see Mystic go 1-0 so far against Nox, and that's Mystic playing very, very well right now, to say the least. That one push just seems to be his golden bullet. Is just murdering everything with it.
Again, we've seen, IEM champions recently just stick with that one build and it works. So, why not? Test your opponent every single... If they die to it this time, they're probably going to die to it next time. That's generally what happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you practice a lot with one build, you get into the position where you know the responses for pretty much everything. That's why we saw Mystic so comfortable to deal with, like, splitting up his units against those Hellbat drops. Pushed it away, took no damage. Wherever he was doing a different build every game, maybe you wouldn't have had as much experience with multi-prong like that at all.
Yeah, it did seem very much like, we've seen Mystic get really, really aggressive. He was aggressive, but it wasn't like, forcing his multitasking or anything like that. But we've seen, multi-pronged aggression from Nox, but it just got absolutely shut down. Like, those drops did nothing. He lost, a lot there. I feel if he had, like, the 4 Hellbats and the 2 extra medevacs there, he might have been able to hold that. That was pretty close.
Maybe, but I just don't think there's enough raw power in the Hellbats.
No, that's true. There was a good tank setup and everything like that. Yeah, no, you're right. But it would have made a difference. There's 4 Hellbats. If they've got a little bit of damage done, maybe that delays that push as well. But of course, that's pure theory craft now. We're talking about, ifs and buts and what if instead he decided to build 5 tanks, We could say that anyway. But we're going to go into game 2 here, Triton. I'm feeling Mystic here for a 2-0.
You thinking Mystic for a 2-0? Do you think he's going to go out of his group for an 0? I think that's a bold claim.
Impressive. At the start of this series, I would have said, yeah, that's a bold claim as well. But Mystic showing us that anything can happen here.
I think so. And, we've got no cheese out here for the first part. There's going to be no proxy.
We've had no cheese at all in this entire day.
At all. None of our players spawning down in the bottom right. He is our yellow Terran, representing the Drunken Outlaws and formerly Infinite Edge. He is Nox.
And in the top left, currently 1-0 and putting on an incredible display of talent here, we have the blue Terran, Mystic.
I think that Infed is still alive, but it's more of a family than anything. It's like they're still like about, but they're not really a proper team. They still love each other. They still talk to each other.
It's a community, not a team, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'd say so for the most part. And I think they still talk a lot. Like, they went to quite a few iSeries together just to chill. I think they do still talk. They still hang out in each other's streams and everything. So I think there's like Finns that still streams. Nox definitely does, because I've seen him stream very recently.
It's nice, isn't it, really? Like, you find a lot of, especially in the UK StarCraft scene, a lot of remnants of old teams, and they're still long-term friends as well, no matter really what happens. You don't see a lot of people falling out with people, apart from like the occasional Twitter spat that you sort of come across.
I don't know, StarCraft Twitter, it's pretty wild.
It's pretty wild, yeah. Along with StarCraft Reddit banning memes as well, which is hilarious. Yeah. Little SCV brawl here as well. I love to see this. This is like Rock'em Sock'em Robots here. There's like Mystic coming ahead there.
Oh jeez. Yeah. Oh my god.
Those drills have got hurt,
where you like click the button.
Yeah, exactly.
Punch each other. Yeah. Oh my god, is that what
Is
that was called?
I'd have to thought the American version was called. I'm not sure what the British one was
Oh
called.
my god, yeah.
Like Battle Bots or something lame. Like Rock'em
Probably.
Sock'em's like so much better.
Oh, now I'm starting to think of Robot Wars now.
Oh my god, that was king.
Oh,
that was a
so
king
good.
of Saturday morning TV. Oh my god.
I mean, if Mystic decides to go for mech, then maybe we'll have Robot Wars because
I'd love to
Nox
see
is that
full
mech
4
player.
battles. Just some 4-on-4 violence. Love it.
Oh, there was so many great like robot characters as well. I do miss that. Wait, didn't it come back? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it came back, but I think they were preying on this nostalgia and realizing that the people that watched it are adults that don't watch TV on a Saturday morning anymore. So it kind of like fell flat, which is a shame. But you know,
that is a shame.
It's a cool program.
Did they bring back the same guy?
Yeah, Craig Charles. Yeah.
God, I'm not
same presenter, everything. I'm going to get corrected by Twitch chat anytime now. It's like,
Probably,
actually, the ratings of the new Robot Wars were, as Twitch chat does. A little bit of reprogression here. I'm not going to run into much, though. Mystic just showing sort of his prowess, if you will, making sure that, you know, Nox isn't doing anything too crazy.
Yeah, I think he's just pulling ahead with these little bits of advantages, that constant SEV production that Nox sometimes fails with. And then losing that single SEV, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but it makes a big difference in TVT and mirror matchups. That single SEV can make such a difference.
Yeah, the income difference between obviously when you just start creeping ahead in workers and you're going for pretty much identical. Obviously, defenders do have that little bit of advantage, but when you've got like 5 or 6 more units and you engage well, that's a win straight away. Like it's really hard to recover in these sort of matchups where you know every unit does count.
Oh yeah, for sure, and especially when you got Mystic going to go for this probably 3 Raven push again. You know, like you were saying, if they've gone for the same thing 9 times out of 10, and they do, and what they're going to do the 10th time, probably the same thing. And it looks like we're going to go in the 4th game in a row. We're going to have this 3 Raven push.
Yeah, it looks like Mystic doing pretty much the same thing as Nox still, though. The Ravens are on the way. I think Nox is probably going to be slightly more defensive with his, just because that's his sort of style, judging by the past couple of games. Hellions being really good at map control here. Again, not going to really find much. I don't think they're expecting to see a third. I think they're just chilling there. Reaper, wow.
The Ninja Mace, though.
Is he going to go up?
Mystic is right next to the Ninja Mace. No way does he.
No.
If he does, that's map hacks, that is.
Yeah, I'm going to call shenanigans if he catches that. But he's going to see no third, so he might kind of go, maybe.
Usually when you get the third base, it's in base for the Terran, because you don't want to be...
Of course.
Nobody has the balls big enough to build it on the low ground.
Are you hearing that, Terrans? No balls. Volt is calling Terrans out right now.
Well, as a Terran myself, I am quite happy to say that nobody has the balls to put it on the low ground in the TV.
Except if you're hiding it in the far left corner.
You've got me there, DMU. You've got me there.
We do see a lot of Vikings come out of Nox here, so I think he's expecting the Raven play from Mystics, and obviously Vikings really good at shutting down that harass as well. So we're going to see a couple more. I'll be keen to see if he continues Viking production, or if he's going to stop at like sort of 2 or 3.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how I like this though, because this is just trying to hard counter what Mystic's going to do, which is good and all, but is that really going to play to Nox's strengths? Because we've seen Nox always try and take the game into his own hands. It's him making the decisions. It's him choosing the pace of the game. This time he's morphing around what Mystic's going to be doing. And he knows that blindly, and I don't think it's going to work because he's just going to stay at home. Yeah,
Mystic should be, smelling something's up right now. Like, he's not seen a third base float over. It definitely should be landing about now. He must be suspecting something. He might just start scanning or sort of exploring the map, what's going on. There's a little bit of aggression there, a bit of a clash between Hellions in the middle of the map by the looks of it. Oh, no, Cyclones and Hellions. Going to get the Reaper here. It's a nice little pick. Cyclones go flying as well. I love that anime. You know that little Reaper mine? I love it.
Yeah, I love that as well. Especially when Beyond controls it back in the day. I'm sure you've seen the Beyond.
Yeah.
Oh, many years ago. That's some good stuff. I'm always going to be a big Beyond fan. Even though people are like, but he's a dirty Reaper abuser. you know, it's still just an amazing, has amazing controls of those Reapers.
Yeah, great micro here on the side of Mystic as well, trading a Cyclone for a couple of Hellions there. That's not bad, especially, with once a Hellbat count gets really far up, it's actually quite difficult to do. And again, Mystic looking for that third base, not finding it. He's actually scanning. He's like, where is this third base? Like, why are you not building it?
He's got to know. He's got to know there's got to be a ninja base.
He's gotta. He's either thinking that he's about to get 2 based all in, or he's hidden expansion somewhere.
I think, I can't remember if it was Mystic or not that said, like, during a ladder game, I was watching him play at Epic LAN, and it's like, this guy's either got a ninja base or he's just bad. It's one of these things. And, Nox being in the winners match right now, taking out ZAiN 2-1, I wouldn't really call Nox bad.
No, definitely not. I mean, same thing happened to me at Epic. I sat down day one, seeing that StarCraft 2 was installed on whatever PC I was on. So I was like, yeah, I would log in. I would log me into someone's battle.net. I'll have a quick game. I sort of scouted and there was no natural expansion. I was like, oh dear, I'm going to get 1 base all in. No, just terrible. Just really bad. So I'm sitting there prepping, building extra units, being super safe, scouting loads. And he's just got 4 Marines in his base.
I usually get that a lot when playing with team games with people and scouting. He's got okay, the Zerg's got no drones on his natural, and it's 4 minutes in. He should really have some drones on his natural. This guy's clearly on anything. Oh no, it's just bad. It's just bad.
Yeah, Mystic still hasn't scouted that secret third here, but it looks like he might sort of smell, something's up, and this is probably the place he would put that base. We see a little small Marine Marauder tank force moving out here towards that. And wow, Nox has got a lot of tanks ready.
Yeah, going straight into that tanks with... Oh, he's got +1 weapons as well. This is going to be really good. This is a big change of pace compared to what it was last game.
Yeah,
last game, Nox was looking to go for Hellbats, and the armor really helps with that. But this time he's going to go for the sheer power of siege tanks this game.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be sort of, mech versus bio, the classic TVT, as you but, Mystic doing a good job setting up on a couple of fronts here. Nox sort of being aggressive with the Hellions, not doing much. They've just run into a bunch of tanks. Good disruptions on them, but they'd already done a lot of damage. But they're going to pick off some tanks, which is really, really handy. And Hellbat drops there. Oh, that hurts a lot. But the tank still standing at the back there. Just a bit of aggression all over the place here from Mystic as well. Really good drop into the main, but that Medevat's going to get shot down by a turret, which you don't really want to do. Hellbat's pushing back the Marine tank. Good micro on all fronts here. Loses that. But that little embankment of tanks there is doing a really, really good job of just raining down death onto this main.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a scary position to be in whenever you see a map with this sort of layout where you can just shoot into the main base. There's going to be a tank push there at some point or another.
Yeah, of course, but you got to use a lot of scans, obviously. Without the medevac there providing the high ground vision, you just got to keep using energy and energy and energy. And, if you need the mules, sometimes that can be bad, but in this situation, I think it's absolutely perfectly fine. Both Terrans sort of scan each other, figuring out what you've... But those siege tanks just raining absolute death down right now.
Yeah, it's... I think this one just died to some Hellbat drops, and I'm not sure why Nox isn't pulling the trigger and dropping on that, because the siege tanks can't shoot. If they're up close, it's just going to lose them.
He could just drop straight on top of them, siege tanks, friendly fire, kill them all. But he's quite happy to just kind of sit there now that the siege tanks can't really do much anymore in that position. They've killed everything they can kill. And I think Nox is just worried about, unsieging at a really, really bad time.
Oh, these siege tanks actually stuck. Oh my god. Oh, this reminds me of
it reminds you of that thing that happened, right?
That thing that happened with the Thors. Oh my god. Was that game casted? I can't remember.
No, I don't think it was, but he come home with, he come back over with his head held low.
It's like, oh my god. It wasn't even that bad. It's just that his Thor got completely stuck. It wasn't even the factory blocking. It was just everything blocking it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so good here for Nox. This is so good for Nox.
Yeah, he's just lost absolutely everything there. Mystic doing a good job at dropping, but Liberator's going to clear up the medevacs. Marauder's going down fairly quickly. Very minimum losses there. Turret's actually doing a lot of damage as well. Liberator's just chasing down those medevacs. Oh no, they're ignoring them. Siege tanks back in place because they can't go anywhere else.
I don't know if you remember when Liberators did a lot of damage versus
Oh
air.
yeah.
They do not do lots of damage versus
Yeah,
air.
I know they've been nerfed recently because I was playing a bit of Terra and I was like, why are my Liberators tickling these Vikings to death? Like, what's going on there?
You'd be surprised though. You get like +3 air weapons, +2, which is pretty common because Liberators, you want those air weapons for them. You know, and they'll just you group about 10 of them, they'll just melt things.
Yeah,
You know,
and this is exactly what Mystic needs to do here, is just pressure on a couple of fronts, get those sensor towers down, put some pressure on these extra bases as well. But it looks like Nox is sieged up, not quite sieging in time, but he is going to get a lot of damage before those tanks can fire back.
This is Nox's bread and butter. Look at him, he's just rolling straight through. This is in a comfortable position, he's dropping Hellbats. Look, he's pushing these tanks forward like there's no tomorrow. Look at the pace of this, man.
Yeah, they're like trading a base for a base right now, though. Yeah, which is actually better for Mystic.
Sprinting turtle right now. That's the sort of pace I'd give it right now.
Yeah, just sort of leapfrogging those tanks over. Vikings making very short work of that floating CC as well. Still has a few Hellbats, but not a great deal. He needs to kind of look at reinforcing. But the supply heavily in the favor of Nox right now. Mystic struggling to do any damage. Those 2 siege tanks still stuck. Not been picked up by medevacs just yet. They're kind of not doing much.
Just spamming about because, you know, F2 is being used. They're just going, I want to go. I want to go home.
And Nox now moving out with his reinforcements. That is a scarily big army pushing down onto Mystic's main.
I mean, losing all these Vikings is going to really, really be impactful here.
23 siege tanks. 23. That is a lot of siege tanks by anyone's means.
I mean, Mystic now has the air control here. He could very easily go for, like, Liberators. That would really help him. But this engagement, killing off quite a few tanks? Oh, no, but the surround. The surround,
and there was just too many tanks, too good upgrade. Mystic going to really struggle here. He does have the air superiority, but Vikings can't shoot down. And now Nox is just sieging up absolutely everywhere. I think we're going to go to a game 3 here. That's some really, really good siege tank placement, raining death onto the natural.
The only saving grace for Mystic is going to be these Liberators popping out, and, you know, I really don't think that's really going to make much of a difference here, because it's how to stop his Viking production. And there's Thors coming out for Nox, on the other hand.
Because why not? Yeah.
I mean,
Liberator's going to siege up
against air units. They just absolutely demolish things.
But I think he's already done the damage he needs to, being pushed back now by the Liberators. But Mystic lost a hell of a lot there. A hell of a lot.
Oh, so much. I mean, Nox has been ahead in the units lost tab the entire game, more or less. You know, he's been trading so much more efficiently, 8,000 more right now in terms of resources lost. You know, it's actually 10,000 actually thinking about the gas as well, not just mineral. It's a crazy amount of difference in those trades right here. It's been so good for Nox all game.
Yeah, Nox now producing 3 4s and 2 Viking at a time. Those Liberators aren't going to last very long. Siege tech count still at 22. A couple of Hellbats, remain. Liberator's doing some damage, but, that's going to end very, very soon.
I don't really see what Mystic can do without medevacs in this position. He can't really sustain this army at all without medevacs at all. He's got very little income. He's having to float out, orbital commands in order to take out, take these resources.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job at sort of liberating Hoppin here, sort of picking off, static things like the sensor towers. Good Hellbat run by here as well, just absolutely decimating the remaining worker line of Mystic. Nox taking a huge lead, but we do see an engage here, but there's so many siege tanks. Yeah, that went about as well as it could for Mystic.
Yeah. Nox, man, bringing it 1-1, a game away from making it into the group stage.
I'm just not going to put any predictions anymore because every single one I've done tonight has just been wrong. So whatever I say, the opposite will happen.
Predictions?
No, just say the thing you don't want to happen, and that's what will happen, or the thing you don't think will happen, and that's what will happen. So you can sound really smart.
We're going full in on the caster curse. I see.
Yeah. So it's the same as like the Artosis one. Did you see that tweet just before the IEM, like round of 8?
Oh, no, I didn't actually. No.
It was like basically, oh my god, we're going to see Maru Serral. Never mind. Cheers, Artosis.
I'm not a fan of Simulacrum. Especially on TVT, it's just so open. it's if you want to get your mech army through there, sure. There's nothing stopping you in the way of terrain. Only maybe the enemy army. Just so open. There's so many choke points. It's a frustrating map to play on. But I'm wondering if we could see maybe Mystic or Nox bring that to his advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think it probably favors Mystic more, just because of how open it is, and obviously Mystic prefers that bio. But obviously Mech, if it gets in a really good position on this map, especially like, just outside the natural, that can be absolutely devastating.
Yeah, so what you're saying by that is Nox has the advantage because every prediction we make is going to be the opposite, remember?
Yeah, but it's really difficult to sort of take a nice third here, right? As Terran? Like everything kind of gets sieged on. It's a little bit awkward.
Somewhat, but it's maybe. But I mean, you could say that about any map, to be honest. That you third.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think with the style that Mystic plays with that tank push, he tries to lean on that, sieging down the third base, maybe even going for the natural, going straight for the jugular sort of thing. But I think we should introduce our players. So spawning in the top left-hand side, our yellow Terran player representing the Drunken Outlaws and formerly Infinite Edge. He is Nox.
And in the bottom right, currently in between teams, tied in this series, but looking very, very good, is our wonderful blue Terran, Mystic. So much of the same, still not seeing any cheese. This has been a cheeseless day, and that's a good day for me in StarCraft, I think. Do you like to see a little bit of cheese on the ladder, or are you sort of a straight-up player?
Definitely straight up. I think the best way to improve is to play straight up all the time. Just because, as we were saying earlier, you start to learn all the different aspects of your build, and you don't just rely on just cheese to trick people out of their MMR, because once you get to a higher MMR with that cheese, you're going to find yourself struggling in macro games, which Printf found pretty quickly when he changed from cannon rushes to macro games. It's time to get back into Grandmasters.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of sort of like they were literal cannon rushers in Epic, and they're fully admitted to it, and everybody knew they. And they didn't really get that far in terms of groups. Once it kind of went to a macro game, it was kind of like, oh, your macro is like diamond level, but you're sitting in masters. Interesting. So yeah, I fully agree. I do like to see those inventive little like cheese builds though. Especially ones coming out of like top level Zergs at the moment, like free Ravager rushes and stuff like that. TVT cheeses tend to be either 2 racks or a secret cloak Blanchie. That's about it, isn't it, for Terran at the moment?
Pretty much, I'd say so. Yeah, but you could always see interesting BCs come out there.
Yeah, there are BCs used in TVTs. Ooh,
well,
proxy
it's the same with Banshees. They're kind of shut down by Raven Cyclone. It's a very tricky one. Like if you can catch them apart, or you can catch the the Cyclone and the Raven apart, then yeah, you can get some damage done. Or if you can catch them without the Cyclone or Raven being there, you can get some SCV damage done. It's very, very risky, and it's a lot of investment. But we're going to see Mystic go for the GamerRichy style of proxy starport.
What are we going to see out here? Do you reckon a Banshee, or are we going to see a Hellion drop? Oh, Lib, okay.
It just works so quickly, and it gives less time for Nox to scout that. And he comes back in and he sees no starport. And he knows full well this is going to be it's not a factory expand. He knows full well this was a Reaper.
Yeah, that Liberator should get a bit of damage. We do see a few units moving across the map from Mystic here, looking to get like really aggressive, sort of use that multi-task. I don't think that ground army is going to achieve much, but this Liberator, if he pulls his attention when it gets set up, can definitely do a lot of damage.
Very little to deal with the Liberator. I think the Liberator is just able to jump in there and just kill everything, to be honest. There's no Cyclone out, there's no Vikings out, there's a Marine, which if he jumps on with his Hellion.
Yeah, that's bad timing for the Hellions. Obviously, Marine does spot the Liberator, is going to siege up. Probably going to get one or two
jumps on
kills.
This Marine right now. This is going to be game over.
Looks like he's protecting that Marine really well. Liberated is going to make
killing
it
that
out.
Marine would have been game over, I think, there.
Oh, no, it's going to still set up. It's going to get the Marine.
So close to shooting that down.
That could have been... Oh, bad micro.
Oh, my good lord. Oh, my god. And it's going to be the Banshee follow-up as well now.
Yeah, he's having to force a couple of Marines out as well, which obviously changes the build.
Liberate him. No way. What?
Uh-oh.
It's going to get
the Viking.
maybe one more... Just one more SCV, and that's going to be a big game changer there. Yeah. You know, I think that's going to equalize for the most part the worker supplies. We might see Mystic maybe pull ahead, maybe 3 or 4 workers.
Yeah, I mean, he's 5 ahead at the moment, or 3 ahead now. But obviously the second CC being a little bit delayed. Hopefully this Banshee can do a bit of damage, but as you called it pretty much straight away, so I'm sure Nox knows the Banshee follow-up's coming. Gets a deny on the CC, that's pretty big as well. Nothing at home to stop this Reaper, so the Reaper's actually going to do some damage here.
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if well, there's 1 scan left on the orbital command in the main base, but if he drops another mule, he's in a lot of trouble. Oh my god, he just dropped a mule. He's got no scans left for this Banshee.
Yeah.
He's going to have one coming up on his natural, but I think if he's used the one on his main, he's likely going to use the one on his natural as well very, very soon.
Looks that way. He's just waiting for Cloak there. The Banshee sort of hovering about. Looks like Nox is still not really expecting it.
He's used the mule. It's going to be like 20, 30 seconds before another scan comes in.
Yeah, the Banshee makes detection.
There's no detection here for Nox right now.
We're going to see how much damage. Yeah, you can see how much damage this Banshee can do here. 2 workers so far. That'll be a 3rd, quite possibly. There's 4.
Cancel goes down. What? I think that Nox is in a lot of trouble here. There's just nothing here to deal with this.
So much mining time
Banshee
denied as well.
There's a scan coming up now, but even then there's what? A Viking to deal with this, and you could just run away. You could run away from a Viking. And there's another Banshee coming in.
He's just going all in with this Banshee as well. 2nd Banshee in the main as well. So much worker damage. 14 workers lost. Not to mention all the mining time as well. It looks like Mystic is now, 20 workers ahead. 3rd base established as well. Mystic is really, really pulling ahead with his early aggression. 17 workers killed.
18 now. And Nox has to do something, and I give him a lot of respect for staying in the game, because this is, the 1st place match on the line right here. If he can take it with these 3 tanks, maybe he can, possibly come back and win this game. He's not that far behind. He's got his 3rd base up. He's still, going to have 3 CC production, but he really needs to, lay on the pressure right now. He can't let that economic advantage of Mystic get ahead of him.
No, it's going to be hard for Nox to pull ahead here, I think. Obviously, he's behind in supplies, behind in work. A lot of lost mining times, a lot of mules lost as well. A couple of scans that could have been minerals, So, Mystic doing a really, really good job. And he's even pulling the starport back as well, which is obviously, what Terrans do when they proxy stuff. But that getting away for free is quite a big deal as well, to be fair.
Sometimes you might even see the Terrans just constantly just keep that starport there.
Yeah.
That is a done thing, that Terrans will just keep the starport there and just produce out of it. Just because they don't want to lose the production time on that starport. But yeah, bringing it back home is a little bit greedy, but it's going to be fine. He's going to delay his pushes because he's going to have, no medevacs coming out, and he can't really take, long Marine fights. He can't really push across the map without without medevacs or Vikings. But
yeah,
I think this is very good for Mystic.
Yeah, it feels like Nox is just far behind and he's slowly getting further. He needs to make something happen, but he just doesn't have the resources to risk. So he can't just decide to, I'm going to drop some Hellbats in your mineral line, because if he loses them for free, he's even further behind. We've seen some Marine on Marine violence here, and looks like Mr. Blue does make it through with 3. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, man, this is
tough.
This is not looking good for Nox right now. I think he's gone for that aggression. How unlikely would have been, because now he's stuck in this position where he's going to be behind in upgrades. There's a massive army on his door of stuff. Right? This is he's 1.5 times as much army supply right now.
Yeah, it looks like Mystic obviously knows it as well. He's got reinforcements streaming across the map. He's got +1 just about to couple of medevacs on the way as well. I think he's just gearing up and trying to find an opening where he doesn't have to push into siege tanks, because, you know, a couple of bad siege tank shots and your advantage is gone. But Mystic being really cautious here, just making his way around the map, knows exactly where Nox's armor is. There seems to be a little bit of a drop happening in the main as well, or something. He's killing some probes there. Ravens. Nice harass by the Ravens there, killing 9 more SCVs as his army makes its way to the natural. Siege tanks not in position. Marines raining down death onto these Hellions as well. Tanks set up on the high ground. He does have air superiority, but that's going to melt very soon as those Marines get on it. That looks like a mana mule. GG.
I think that's just Nox, but...
Oh, was that Nox, was it?
Yeah, that was Nox laying his own mana mule. But yeah, Mystic's going to take the series 2-1. Very impressively there.
Yeah, this group is not how I expected it to go, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, it's I don't really know how to summarize it so far. It's just defying all expectations, like you said. It's pretty crazy.
It's a pretty crazy group, yeah. So what's going to be the next match? So that'll be ZAiN versus...
Yeah, so it'll be ZAiN versus GamerRichy next.
Oh, of course, yeah. You know what? I was looking forward to this. I'm surprised that slipped my mind. But that's Mystic 2-0, right?
Yeah. That means he advances on to the bracket.
Congratulations, Mystic. But we're getting into some TVP now. And it's going to be a good TVP as well. I'm looking for a lot of aggression from Richie. I'm looking for something a little bit unorthodox from ZAiN. Hope. Now I want to see some interesting builds here. Standard TVP is getting a little bit uninteresting unless disruptors are in the mix. Disruptor's probably my favorite unit now. What about yours? What would you say is your favorite unit at the moment?
Not the disruptor. No, do not say that. Definitely the Marine. I think it's the most consistent unit.
That's a low tier answer. Come on.
Low tier.
Low tier. That is. That's non-controversial at all.
Well, that's just me non-controversial.
You got to say disruptors are amazing, and that way the Terran, the Terran community goes up in arms. The Protoss community is like, I don't need disrupt. You can change the whole meta just by saying it's your favorite unit. It's interesting.
I was just waiting on the ZAiN real quick. I believe it might be out of game. So that gives me a little bit of time to update the Wikipedia. And what do you think of ZAiN versus GamerRichy? Yeah, he's jumping on in the middle.
I've seen both these players play a lot recently. They're both extremely talented players. Although I think Richie's style is gonna win over. We've seen ZAiN fall earlier to mass drops, mass aggression, and Richie's really, really good at that.
Yeah, for sure. But I think unlike a lot of Terrans, he can dish out the multitasking, but he can't take it. I think he's one of those where if you've got a Zealot drop in the main base, he's going to struggle to deal with it.
Yeah, fair comment. I mean, after a match at Epic, he sort of went, "Oh, I'm going to work on my drops," and I literally said to him, like, that is not something you need to work on. You're good at drops. You're very good at drops. Like he seems to know exactly, where the Protoss can be weak, and I just want to see something crazy out of ZAiN. I want to see him just do something absolutely nuts that we've never seen before. I want to see the mass centering. That's what I want to see.
I don't think he's going to pull that in an important match.
That'd be ballsy. But it'd be an interesting match. Sometimes, like, no matter how, sort of weird a build is, if it's something that someone's not seen before, it can do some serious damage.
Maybe, but I think it relies on macroing to the potential.
True.
Right, so they are going to get vetoing. I'm just going to quickly keep updating Wikipedia. Quick.
No, that makes sense.
And the one-man army here, just keeping up.
You're the one that was doing it at Epic as well, right?
I was, yeah.
That was on point, by the way. That was literally like, as the game finished, you refreshed, Wikipedia, done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, in the finals for sure, for sure.
Mm.
That was some hard work.
I bet, yeah, because part of you just wants to sit and chill and watch the games, you know, and then the other part's like, no, I've got to make this actually work properly.
Yeah, it's memorizing a lot of things, coding a lot of things. Not really a lot to say about it. It's pretty boring, but I get a lot of satisfaction when it's like someone comes to me and goes, "Oh, I need this doing," and you make this from scratch. Quite nice. It's like art. It's like art. What it is really, right? Right. So we have our map order: Triton, World of Sleepers. Well, my brain's all over the place. I'm trying to multitask so many different things.
I'm trying not to ask you too many questions.
And I don't look at chat because I know that's Richie versus Finzi right now, is it? Oh, that's ended. That's ended.
I don't know. Chat just seems to. I just turn off chat for StarCraft events now. Occasionally, you do get a bit of fun, a bit of gold in there, but most of it's just like, your race sucks. No, your race sucks.
I think it's a bit deeper in that when you've got people that know each other as well as a community does. It can be a little bit more fisticuffs.
Do you know what? I started following like most of the people on Twitter, and it's just like, right, okay, I can't look at Twitter too often now.
It's just do you follow
it's just
me
hatred.
On Twitter? That is the question. Oh, you do. You
I do, of course, I
cute.
do.
Oh, that's cute.
I would not follow you.
Right then, let's get ourselves into these games then. I think that's probably what people are waiting for, rather than just having a bit of banter.
Nah, they like us chatting. That's all they tune in for. They're not here for the games.
We need to make our own podcast. That's what it is.
Oh god, that's like literally the two whitest guy thing ever. Like, let's make a podcast. Like, everybody just seems to make a podcast nowadays. So we're going to Triton, which I believe was ZAiN's choice. No, that
Triton was
Richie's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he on a different account?
No, it's his main account. He's called Mr. Anderson.
Oh, okay.
It's probably because you're friends with him. It's called Mr. Anderson because that's his BattleNet name.
Ah, okay. Taking inspiration from the Matrix.
Although his surname isn't Anderson.
No, I assumed it's a Matrix reference.
Oh, I personally haven't ever seen the Matrix.
So that's why you don't get the reference.
I don't get the reference. Sorry, man.
Disappointed.
Speaking of a man that probably has seen Matrix, spawning in the top left-hand side, he is our green Protoss. He is ZAiN.
And in the bottom right, fighting from behind, which I don't think anyone expected right now, is the Red Terran, GamerRichy, representing Peak UK Esports as well. I'm sure he'd want me to give that a shout out.
Yeah, I think we've shouted them quite a lot, and we've not shouted the DOH out enough, have we? Apart from...
Go on, tell us about the DOH. Tell us about the DOH.
The Drunken Outlaws, they're a big clan led by literally my twin brother, but he's not quite my twin brother. I'm sure you met Suskin, didn't you?
Literally your twin, but not your twin.
Literally my twin, but not my twin. My brother from another mother that looked like me.
I did meet Suskin. I actually casted the game with him as well. Very good caster.
Yeah.
Not too good at fours, but very good caster.
My favourite person from London. That's saying a lot because I don't particularly like people.
just people in general. Just
those rich, upper-class, posh people. That's all it is. No, I'm just joking. I love loads of people in the UK community. Don't worry, guys. Including people from London. But, yeah.
That's such a backhanded compliment. I love everyone, especially these people.
I'm not discriminating against people from London. I have friends from London, so I can't be discriminative against Londoners.
He does manage to sneak the CC down here, but the Pro-Paras is going to actually be pretty. ZAiN being really annoying with it as well. That's I like Protosses that do this. If you've got the APM to kind of be annoying, you may as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's so annoying to deal with as a Terran player to jump in there and start zapping away to the SCVs. Oh, I just shudder at the thought of it. And Richie's actually dealt with it very well. He's not lost any SCVs. not lost too much building time. You know, that CC is going to get down at a very, very decent time. It is off position just because of the pro block, but, you know, that's a pretty acceptable position. He's going to lose maybe a second or two of command center time, but that's it, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Terrans have got that OP thing where they can, you know, reposition their building. Just saying, like, no other race can do that. So, you know, a little bit OP there.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It is broken. But unlike versus Nox, we're going to see ZAiN go for Adept into Sentry, which is very, very, very standard. This is what you want, where you got the Adept to jump in, can do.
Oh, that's big.
No,
that is not what you want to happen.
Oh, that's the
SCV is going to get stuck on the supply depot as well. I mean, it is going to finish up, but it's denied it like so hard. He's going to lose a Marine here as well for free. So yeah, good early harass by ZAiN there.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the power of the Adept, and he keeps the Adept alive, and that can keep fading in to get scouting. Denied the scouting of Richie, who's actually not scouted at all. He went across the map, saw the Adept, and then went back home. While ZAiN, on the other hand, he's got his Adept at the front. He's got a Sentry to make hallucinated Phoenixes. And he's just going to keep doing this throughout the early and the mid game here, just to get more and more and more vision, see exactly what's going on. And he sees a very early 3 racks push going on here. It's going to be stim, combat shields. It's going to be heavy in the Marauders with +1, but it's going to have no medevacs at all.
No, and it looks like ZAiN sort of chose the right tech for this as well. He's getting Blink, he's adding on some gateways. He's going to have a lot of Stalkers to deal with this Marine army, and if his Blink micro is good, which we've seen examples of it being, he's going to take very, very minimal losses if Richie decides to push out, which, you know, judging by the +1 time in the combat shields and the stim and the amount of Marines, he's definitely going to want to get aggressive here.
In a perfect world, ZAiN doesn't really want Blink Stalkers versus this. He wants Immortals out, but he's going to have to use what he's got right now with his opening went Twilight Robo to try and push back this push, pick off as many units as possible, but he can't really stand and fight against Stim with Stalkers. He just cannot at all. There's just that much damage there in those bio units.
Yeah, it looks like Richie isn't wanting to get aggressive now, just sort of making sure that, you know, ZAiN can't be aggressive.
Yeah, he can't really push out until that Stim is done.
Yeah, exactly. He can't push out till Stim's done. He can't really push out until he's got a few Marauders. You know, probably waiting for concussive as well, if he thinks the Stalker count's going to be fairly high. But yeah, just sitting back, ready. You know, ZAiN ready to be aggressive, but he's going to push into that and realize, like, nope, don't want any of that. Blink straight out, back, you know, Robotics Bay coming up. So we could see some disruptors.
Yeah, we're going to see GamerRichy go all the way around the side here, trying to avoid the vision of ZAiN. But he's got this control of this central tower here, and you can see this coming.
Yeah, he's going to see
this. A big opening in the natural, but he's actually going to come back and try and pick off units from the rear here.
Yeah, so it looks like the Stalkers are going to sort of like try to drag the army back just while ZAiN sort of builds up a force, but Richie's having absolutely none of it. He's making his way directly to that third base. If he smells that third, it is going to be a cancel, but no medevacs in this army as of yet, so Stims are going to do more damage than they're probably worth at this point, but that is a lot of bio.
And look, Richie's playing really well here. He's been very conservative Stims here, because ZAiN, all he's trying to do is force out Stims here, because as soon as he Stims, he's blinking away.
Yeah, that's got to hurt Richie as well, because I know Richie loves that T-button.
Big time, yeah. But, I mean, that shows great control out of a guy that loves, you know, stimming that much, that he can control himself. But, look, he's forced into a corner here. He has to stim. Yeah,
a good couple of pickoffs as well. The Bio Army is going to survive, make it another day as well. Looks like ZAiN doesn't want to pursue, just wants to push back, establish, get to that Colossus count, get to the charge lots. A couple of gateways coming in, Forge coming on. So we're probably going to see like sort of a 2 or 3 Colossus push out of ZAiN here, I would say.
Maybe not even a push at all, actually.
Do you think ZAiN's just going to sit back and be defensive?
Possibly, because we see that Richie's going for a lot of bio here. He's probably going to be the one trying to put the pressure onto ZAiN, because you don't want to see like 4 or 5 Colossus out, and you know that's really, really scary for a bio army, especially without you know, Vikings, because we're going to have to see you know, medevacs produced before Vikings. That's really going to delay the Viking production here, and it's going to really leave GamerRichy behind.
Yeah, ZAiN up to a significant amount of gateways as well. So it looks like he is looking to be aggressive here.
Yeah, I'm
Units
actually
moving
a little
across the
surprised
map,
about
but
this.
no warp prism to back this up. So it's going to be kind of like, I want to do damage to your third, maybe
There's
snipe a
got to,
few units. But other than
yeah,
that,
there's
it's
got to
not
be
going to
some
do much.
insane force fields going on here because that's a lot of bio. That's not something to be laughing at, really.
No,
And
I
we're going
don't
to
think
see
he
some.
expected Richie to have this big of an army. Colossus moving forward, that's not really what you want to do, but still no medevacs here.
No, I mean, Colossus two-shot Marines, irregardless of upgrades. So, just getting a couple pot shots off is really scary for Richie when he's got such a Marine-heavy army here.
And no
He can
medevacs.
poke and push here.
Yeah, no medevacs. But it looks like the Protoss army is swinging around to the left side. ZAiN now, chronoing out a warp prism. But Richie's army is significantly weaker right now just because of that lack of Marauder support, the lack of medevac support. Medevac's now just coming in, but the army's separated. As soon as that warp prism comes in, charge lot's done, +1 done, extended thermal lance almost done as well. Zealot sacrificing itself to figure out the army size. We're about to see a big engagement here. At least I think so. It looks
it looks like ZAiN is
just
just going to
circling.
swing around and just try and engage one of these armies, one of the half of the armies by themselves before the other can regroup. And he's trying to defeat Richie's army in detail. But I think Richie catches onto this and is not going to have the opportunity because, look, he's not looking for the engagement at all, not unless he gets some perfect force fields.
No, a couple of Vikings now on the way as well. Looks like ZAiN's looking to drop with that warp prism rather than I think ZAiN's just trying to apply pressure, see if Richie makes a mistake. But so far, Richie's playing is exactly how he should. Warp prism going into the main, but it is pushed back by a turret. It is going to drop some charge lots in there, but it's not going to get really much else done. Big warp in though. He's going for the production.
I'm getting a lot of deja vu. Same map positions as ZAiN versus Mystic in Epic Land. But this is a big engagement. The force fields are so good here for ZAiN, and it's going to absolutely melt everything.
Yeah, it looks like Zealot's doing a good job as well, just denying that Viking production from going too crazy. Another massive warp in. That's a little bit risky, but that's a lot of Zealots. Protoss army pushing into this third as well. Richie's army looking a bit low. Only one medevac. The boys are being pulled. That's a lot of Stalker, a lot of Colossus melting absolutely everything. SCVs flying down. Zealots still making damage. And yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that was going to be GG. Good thing.
Could we see Richie go out 0-2?
I mean, if you'd have asked me that, 2 hours ago, I would have said no. You asked me that now?
Could be a possibility. I'm actually a bit scared about that.
We're seeing a lot of upsets today. We're seeing a lot of. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be seeing ZAiN and Richie in the loser bracket. Not the loser bracket, the lower, losers.
Yeah, this is game. I am concerned for Richie's well-being in this tournament, and I'd be sad to see either of them go, but I don't want to see Richie go out like this. I don't think he deserves to. He's a much better player than these results are laying on so far.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. Sometimes the map score, the game score, or the series score doesn't reflect how these games have gone at all.
No, for sure. Richie is a very, very good player, and you should never count him out. And I think he's a favorite reason. He's just not really been able to pull it out today, unfortunately. But maybe we're seeing the start of a comeback here, and could get second place in this still. It is still a possibility. This isn't round robin. Anything is. So we are now in game. So spotting in the top right-hand side, our man up 1-0, representing the Drunken Outlaws. He is the green Protoss. He is ZAiN.
And in the bottom left, representing Peak Esports, we do have the red Terran, GamerRichy. Currently 1-0 down, which is not what you'd expect from this series, but ZAiN pulling out, incredible restraint there, not letting the army engage badly, great force fields, good timings on everything, good micro on everything, Zealot dropping into the main, forcing Richie's multitasking. Really, really well played by ZAiN there. I don't think anyone could deny him that game at all.
Oh, for sure. GamerRichy's he's been having he's really struggled in recent tournaments. He had a bit of an early dropout in the in the last Epic Land, a lot earlier than a lot of us expected, because he's usually podium contender there. But he went out to Razorblader. I think he went 5th and 6th. I think it was, or it might have been 7th and 8th. not remember off the top of my head, but had that early drop out, and then again so did ZAiN, but it was still, I think it was 5th and 6th for ZAiN.
What's the reasoning for the position on this barracks?
He's
and
trying
the fake double gas.
He's trying to. If you have a look at ZAiN's vision, he can't see the barracks. He's looking around. He's thinking it might be a proxy. That's what it is, because that proxy Reaper can cause absolute havoc, and that's exactly what ZAiN thinks this is. He's gone for that Zealot first, and he's really going to delay his Nexus coming out of ZAiN, and that's just done. It's 3 damage, and the barracks is still at home. This is a really good position to be in for Richie right now. Oh, and ZAiN scouts see the command center in the top, in the bottom right-hand side here.
He might actually get the SUV kill as well, which is annoying.
Ooh, no, that's some good SUV control. That is actually going to be ballsy enough to try and build again. Oh, but he loses it for his for that bit of transgression there. Oh, and it looks like that ZAiN might just see it this time around.
Yeah, he's going to proxy. Yeah, he's going to be like, okay, you made me waste a Zealot, but I killed an SCV. I know exactly what's going on. Zealot coming across the map, but GamerRichy's sort of micro with the Reaper is really, really good. I've not seen him lose a Reaper unnecessary, the entire time I've watched him play.
Yeah, I don't think he will lose this Reaper to this Zealot.
He shouldn't do it, ever.
I think he's far, far, far too good of a player to do that, but that's a free Zealot.
Was the probe harassing SCV again? Nearly killing it again?
Oh, no way.
I love it. I love the probe. I love the probe harass.
Man. The thing that this Zealot did, it denied that Reaper from getting any scouting, so he's had to build that bunker on the low ground. He's having to, with a lot of stalker pressure, this could actually be really bad for Richie, because he's no longer got that high ground advantage. The defender's advantage is negated somewhat by this barracks being where it is.
Yeah, it looks like the Adept sniped away the SCV, or the SCV ran as well. Just two Marines, but the Reaper does come back as well. So, yeah, good shade out there. The Stalker made its way back, by the looks of it, instead of sort of pushing the way across the map. Yeah. So maybe sort of went, you're going to have 4 Marines by the time the Stalker gets there. I don't really want to do that trade. So, yeah, just pulling back and, losing a Marine. The Adept stays alive. Cyclone's on the way out now. Command center coming down. Richie played this early game fairly well, but I think ZAiN is slightly ahead, I would say.
I'd say ZAiN's ahead in most regards right now. Big time in workers, massively in scouting. ZAiN knows everything that Richie's doing. Richie doesn't want to build a Cyclone at all. I think that's what he said. Yeah, he's got a Cyclone across the map. He's going to have to use that to take map control back. Like, you can take down most Protoss units with it. It's like a big, heavy Stalker that can lock onto things. So he's seen there's no third base. He can use it to defend against Stargates if there is one. It's that all-rounder unit, but it is very expensive. It's a lot of gas. It's a lot of minerals that he doesn't have to spend.
Yeah, it's a shame when you have to sort of invest that heavily into map control, because obviously the Protoss is just taking it early with a few early units. A couple more coming in, though. That's going to get some good damage. Reaper joining the fight as well, but that is 2 Stalkers and an Adept, and I don't think he wants to take that fight.
No. The Cyclone is very, very similar to in terms of output, like damage output. With the lock-on, the Cyclone will win, but in equal numbers, the Stalkers usually win. It's Cyclones aren't really a good fighting unit without either there being a lot of Cyclones or Hellions to buffer.
Yeah, we're going to see an interesting time in here from Richie by the looks of it. It looks like he's gearing up for a Stim Combat Shields +1 push. If he obviously decides to get aggressive, he might not, as we've seen in the last game, sort of hanging. But it looks like ZAiN gearing up for that third base, getting the forge down, charge on the way. Very, very similar composition to the last one as well. Yeah,
so we're going to see the super meta 3 Rex push coming down here. Richie and Razorblade are very, very good at these sort of styles. And it is just very, very common to see them go for that, because it gets so much map control. You can take out the third base and kill off probes, take good trades. It's just so adaptable to the situation for Terran.
Yeah, and really good vision from Richie there as well, scanning the observer. It does make a massive difference. Looks like Richie is ready for this push as well. A couple of medevacs in support, but the Stalkers are going to see it coming. So ZAiN's not going to be caught too off guard with this, but this is a very, very good timing push here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Killing off that observer is really big, because it means that there's going to be no backstabs out of these Stalkers. Because there's nothing on the map to see up on the high ground. There's still the bunker there. There's reinforcements that these Stalkers just can't deal with. And this push is is looking really good. It's a really good time coming out here. Dim combat shields are finished, and +1 is very, very nearly done. By the time he pushes, he might take a couple engagements before it's done, but there's no real zealots out at the moment to really take advantage of that lack of +1.
Yeah, there is a few, but obviously because of the weapon advantage here, or just about finished as well, they are going to go down a little bit quicker than they normally would. Medevac in support, Richie doing a really good job of stutter stepping. ZAiN's shields on those Stalkers are getting very, very low. And Richie's army also getting pretty spongy here. Immortal going to do good damage. Zealots warping in on the right-hand side, just pushing everything back. Stalkers are going to eventually pick everything off, and well held by ZAiN there.
Yeah, I think Richie jumped the gun ever so slightly. He wanted to wait a little bit until that was
a couple more seconds. Couple more seconds, definitely.
Maybe, yeah, because these zealots just die like a knife through hot butter, really, when there's +1 there.
Yeah.
Maybe not that easily, but they die so much quicker with that +1 upgrade there. And that really would have turned the tide between being, it's an okay trade, to being, oh my god, we've just seen Richie go 1-1 against ZAiN right now. This is the series.
Yeah, I mean, ZAiN doing a really good job of observer placement there. That's something I've noticed in a lot of his. He has observers just ready to spot those drops, especially against a player like Richie, who is, drop heavy. He likes to sort of multi-prong drops here. When you've got plenty of observers and you can move your army in time, that just shuts all of that aggression down.
Yeah, when you're a player that relies so much on, game knowledge, having that information advantage is to your advantage. Big time.
Good blink there. Good blink by ZAiN there, picking off the medevac there. So that's a medevac and 2 widow mines for absolutely. Third base is fully established now. Looks like a big zealot immortal army. Not really moving towards Colossus. Looks like he's going to favor those Archons and Storms.
Yes, this is going to be a charged Storm composition. Very, very strong if you can catch the Terran in position. But if you are caught out of position, if you get EMP'd on all of your High Templar, or you're caught in the choke, you're really going to struggle versus the high DPS outcome of this Terran bio.
Yeah, I was about to say, obviously, Richie's fallen further and further behind. We haven't, seen. But it looks like Richie has correctly identified this composition and is immediately building the Ghost Academy for those EMPs as well.
Yeah, there's no way you can fight this without Ghosts at all. The Storms are just too strong. The Zealots are too strong.
Yeah, talking of Zealots, big warp in here in the main. As you were saying at the beginning of the series, Richie struggles with these sort of multi-prongs aggressions. He has managed to pick off a few Zealots. Viking's going to deal with this warp prism very, very handily. Zealots in the main not doing too much for work is killed. Yeah, he's going to lose everything there. There was no saving it as well. So Zealots do fall, a little bit of mining time, but he knows, obviously, that Richie knows that there's ghosts. And I think that's going to be ZAiN's cue to kind of be a little bit aggressive before, too many ghosts get on the field. But it looks like Richie is going for a 2-pronged attack here. Picks up, leaves, just as the other Archon warps in. But he does force another Archon, which is good for the Storms. Very good.
Because now he's got, 2 Storms left?
Yeah, probably by the time... Yeah, by the time the engagement happens, he'll probably have 4.
Possibly, yeah, but that leaves him still very weak to EMPs and everything.
We're going to see a big engage. Zealot's running in first. Good air control here. Widow Mines in the front line as well, which is just absolutely key to fighting back these Zealots. Good blinks away to disallow the Widow Mine fire. A couple of Marines sort of figuring out how big this army. Ghosts are ready, though, and, this bio army from Richie is looking pretty good.
Yeah,
big engagement.
He just needs the EMPs. He's actually going for the snipe.
Yeah, I don't like that choice at all here from Richie. Vikings having to land. That is a lot of Protoss, and I think we're about to see Richie go 2-0 down. Immortals have still got their hardened shields, and there's 4 of them. 2 Archons fighting in the back as well. But Richie doing a really good job at cleaning this up. Good target fire, good micro there. Ghost in the back, but it's only 1. It's got no energy left. And GG.
Richie.
Wow.
I feel really bad for the guy. He's such a passionate guy, and by all means, he deserves to make it out of the group. But I don't think any of us expected him to go out 0-4.
No, that's not what I expected at all. That was really, really good timing push by ZAiN there, recognizing the weakness. Hitting just before that ghost count gets critical. I'm not 100% sure why Richie chose snipes there. Maybe he didn't quite have the EMP range, or I don't know. I didn't quite catch what was happening in that engagement. But really, really good timing from ZAiN.
Yeah, it was questionable, the choice of Snipes. But yeah, we're going to go on to the final series, which is going to be Nox versus ZAiN. Very shortly. Yeah, so that's a disappointment in itself.
It's a little bit strange. I mean, it's not something we'd expect to see a lot of. I mean, the play from both sides was really, really good. I think ZAiN sort of shut down Richie's aggressive style, not allowing him to get that sort of critical mass of drops that he likes to play. And obviously striking in that second game, just before Ghost got out is actually what you want to do. It's exactly the right timing to do that. But ZAiN just playing really, really, really well.
Yeah. It's the storms at the end, he absolutely ate them, and yeah.
It's tough to talk about the game like that because obviously these two are friends. We know them. We know how they play. Yeah,
Although
tough,
you say
tough
that,
games.
I know there's a little bit of rivalry between, but I'm not going to add that in a time like this because ZAiN said himself he was very, very sad to have to eliminate GamerRichy. They were saying before, like, didn't want to meet you like this, to face you in, the winners match like we were all expecting, but yeah, there's not really a lot we can do.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, but we are just going to have to go on to the final series, leave Richie behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, GG Richie, well played, obviously. And now we've got Nox and ZAiN for the second place. I mean, we've seen both of these players' styles now. Nox being slightly more defensive, ZAiN being quite aggressive. It's going to be a tough one to sort of call here, I think. But I think the way ZAiN's PVT is going, I think he's got an edge here.
Possibly, but remember how it went last series.
I'm not going to say. You know what? I've said it now, haven't I? And it's going to come back and bite me. But I think both players are probably about raring to go. They want to see the end of this series now. But coming into it, ZAiN's only had to practice one matchup. And if he knows these player styles, which he will, and he's been practicing his PVT, I can see why he's crushing. Why he's doing such a good job at eliminating these high class Terrans.
For sure. Just waiting on Nox.
Since he was kicked from the party.
Yeah, just to try and re-invite him.
Okay. Silly Battle.net, wasn't it? Always Battle.net. Always blame Battle.net.
No, this is Nox. This is Nox through and through. Just not picking it up. Picking up the ball. Come on, man.
Come on, Nox.
F in the chat for Richie, man.
Definitely. F in the chat for Nox as well. Like, where are you, bro?
Where are you? Yeah, so hopefully we can get him in here very, very soon.
I'll tell you one thing. We've seen some crazy games tonight, and I don't think anyone could have predicted the brackets looking at the way they are right now.
No, for sure. Yeah. I'm hoping Nox wins. I want 2 Terrans in that playoff brackets. For multiple reasons. Mainly being I can only really cast TVT, TVZ, and TVP very well. Put me in a Protoss versus Zerg, and I go, I don't know what I'm doing. That's why exactly on Thursday for the Zerg and Protoss group, I'm handing over to Risky and Spacey Maisie.
That's probably a good cast, yeah.
That's going to be a very good cast.
Because obviously, let's talk about Group B. So Group B is happening on the 5th, which is Thursday, same sort of time, 7 o'clock. That's pretty stacked with Zerg. So we've got Asta, Johnny Rico, Matt. Don't know Matt.
You don't know Matt. You don't know Matt.
I know a Matt. I don't know this Matt.
The Matt, the one of many. The very The one and only Matt. We'll go with that.
The one and only. There's only one Matt.
And then Molten as well.
Yeah, of course. Molten being the Protoss in the group. So obviously he's going to only have one match to practice, which is his PvZ. So we've got Asta, Johnny, Rico, Matt, and Molten. That's a pretty stacked group as well, to be fair.
I think so, but I think Molten's definitely going to have the most fun in that.
Wait. Are you saying a Protoss has fun playing against Zerg?
No, not in the
slightest. I don't think any Protoss would agree with you ever.
The past 2 Epic Lands, he's been knocked out by a Zerg who is. Both of them were over 1,000 MMR. Well, around about 1,000 MMR below.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh. Molten's in the chat right now as well, so in about 2 minutes, we're going to see a lot of spam from him, I think.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Twist that
He's
knife.
the one that
Twist the knife.
Stream title very nicely as well, so.
Yes, thank you very much, Molten. Appreciate it.
For sure. Right, so Nox is in, so we're going to get the vetoes on.
Yeah, and obviously, thank you very much for putting this on. This is by UKSC2. If you're not following them on Twitter, I suggest you do so. If you want to be part of the scene, and obviously you fit the credentials of being in the UK.
Not necessarily. We have quite a few people that aren't.
Yeah, I was going to say Spacey, obviously, being one of them.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much open to everyone. We do organize things that are mostly UK orientated. So, we had the London meetup at, where was it? It was in
Platform, wasn't it?
Platform, yeah. I saw some nice pictures there. Still need to do that tweet, but it might be getting a bit late now. I was hoping someone else would do it other than me. I'm so busy. But yeah, and then hopefully we're going to have a Derby meetup soon. There's going to be one in Liverpool on Tuesday, so tomorrow. So they're happening all the time, and UK scene is very alive. Very good.
Yeah, definitely. Life. Yeah, it's getting bigger, but that probably means more work for you as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty much working 7 days a week doing this and at work the other 5 days.
The dedication.
It's money on my part. Yeah.
Is there any way that we can support you or support the UK StarCraft?
You're trying to hint at something. Yes, there is a match arena that you can support the UKSC2 League at. I don't want to take a penny out of this. It's purely my passion. We can go there. I think the match arena works. Match arena. Yes, I did the thing. The match arena works. The match arena link works. So yeah, if you want to donate there, just even a couple quid, a couple dollars, just makes a massive difference for me. Big time. I mean, we've already had like Wardy donate $250, which is massive. And I'm not expecting anyone to donate anywhere near as much. But the £5 out of Razorblader, that's big as well.
Yeah, MT, Chouch, familiar names from out this entire
names. And then Risky giving 50 quid as well for the prize pool. But our players are ready, and I think we shan't keep them waiting too much longer as we get into World of Sleep. This is our first map.
Yeah, you can buy a snazzy little hat there and then get $10 towards the prize pool as well. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, it's a little Matcherino hat. Part of, you have to put this on if you want to be Matcherino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's doing many things to trying to get Matcherino support because, any support's good support.
Yeah, definitely. Anything that's willing to put prize money in the hands of these players, absolutely love it. Yeah, TVT between me and Volt. I think Volt would probably win that one. I think my my Terran is like, I don't know, bronze.
You have about a 50-50 chance, Sam. I'm only master.
I'll just 2-rack you. It's fine.
Right. So it looks like our players are ready, and we'll get into our first game.
World of Sleepers. Good map. Highest map. So obviously a lot on the line for this game as well. It depends on who's gonna, make it through to that next bracket and obviously win some prize money as well. Both players sporting incredible displays of talent tonight, to be fair. Really, really sort of should be looking back at these games no matter the result and saying, you know what, I played brilliant. But yeah, in the bottom left, we have the green Protoss ZAiN representing the Drunken Outlaws.
And spawning in the top right-hand side as our yellow Terran player, representing the Drunken Outlaws, and formerly Infinite Edge, he is Nox. Have we switched players which we're introducing, or this is the same as last time?
I think this is the same as last time, but you know what? It works.
We
it
should
sounds
switch
good.
next time. We should mix and match because it's a rematch. We'll keep things different.
Okay.
We'll do that.
We've got at least one more game as well, so I'm sure we can pull it off.
At least one more game.
At least one more game.
Are you thinking there might be a 2-0 then, by the sounds of it?
It's hard to tell because both these players are doing really, really well. That SCV is going to sneak past the pro. Probably seen the scout timing. Probably knows there's nothing, too crazy going on. But you know what? ZAiN has been doing really, really well. But Nox as well. Just both. I can't call it. I don't want to call it. Can't call it. Won't call it.
That is the most generic answer you could have given.
Yeah, I know.
At the start of the series, we've seen ZAiN take down GamerRichy, who is a very good player, especially compared to Nox. 2-0'd him, but ZAiN last series went down 2-1, and it's I'm not sure either. I think that ZAiN might be in gear now. Before he might have been going, I don't really know what to expect from this guy. He's really down and out, and now he might just be going, full on standard. We're probably going to see the same as last time. Adept into Sentry. Very, very standard plays, like we saw versus GamerRichy. Maybe a bit more respect out of ZAiN.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. Well, we're about to see this Cybercore finish, so we're probably going to see the first unit out.
Yeah, it's going to be Adept.
Of course it is. I mean, does Protoss make anything else at the beginning?
Yeah, so it could be a
Stalker
or it could be an Adept. Usually we go in Adepts just because they're more versatile. That it's a lot. It can be easier to kill off the Reaper. It depends on the map. But if there's a lot of jump in space, you'll find that the Stalker is a lot easier to kill the Reaper with, just because they're faster. But the Shades are very good. If you get 2 shots off and you get the Shade to follow the Reaper, it's a dead Reaper.
Yeah.
But, Stalkers are very good if you want to go into very, very early Blink, if you want to go into a lot of gates. It's very good for applying that pressure very early. So they do a lot more damage and they survive a lot longer than Adepts do. And the micro potential is a lot higher for them.
Yeah, and we're seeing the tech choice from ZAiN here being the Twilight Council. Again, in sort of PvT, all tech choices are open. We didn't see anything proxying, so you can still build a Stargate at home, but obviously the proxy is just so much more effective if you're willing to. What do you expect to see out of this Twilight Council? We're not going to see Resonating Glaives, are we?
Blink. It'll be Blink. Resonating Glaives is, I think, it's quite old to go against that. And we're definitely not seeing anything all in out of ZAiN. If we were, we'd already be seeing 2 or 3 more gateways going down the back of the mirror line. But yeah, it's just going to be Blink, going to be super standard. I don't think ZAiN wants to take any risks in this series here. I don't think he wants to lose 2-1 again.
No, definitely right. And obviously the Reaper, dying there, but getting a decent scout off. We do see the Widow Mines there, 2 more on the way. Starport just about finishing, so probably going to see a Widow Mine drop from Nox here, which is again pretty standard.
Widow Mine drop. And again with the mass mines out of Nox, it's not changing the style. I think he thinks that, okay, it worked last series, it's going to work this series. And it's very much his style just to go mines. And it's just very, very good against anything, because before Blink, or, if the Shade isn't, controlled perfectly, this is just a free unit every time.
Mm-hmm. And obviously Nox, we seen earlier, it was him doing the mass Widow Mine drops constantly, wasn't it? It was not. There's a lot of Terrans here today. I'm getting a bit confused. But yeah, it looks like ZAiN spotted exactly what's going on. I mean, you kind of feel it at the start of the game anyway. It looks like Nox has decided to, instead of going round to that the main, he's going to swing round to the third. ZAiN is prepared for the drop in the main as well. So Nox doing a really good job of kind of changing his mind there and going right round the outside of the map. But it's not. I don't think it's going to find too much damage. I think ZAiN's going to be prepped in both bases.
Yeah, I think he's just going to go heavily into his. That's all you really need to defend this amount of mine drops. It's only really going to get difficult if it's going to be a 3 racks push behind it, which Nox is looking to do now. That's the only time where you really want to be linking into, say, Colossus, into Charge, which he's going for now. But before then, you can just survive off just purely Blink Stalkers. And that's all he
Yeah.
really needs to deal with these Widowmine drops.
And look at that, ZAiN knowing exactly Nox's style there, preparing cannons already in the third base, and obviously keeping stalkers ready, observers ready to catch the drop. As long as ZAiN's paying attention to the minimap, he should be completely safe here.
I really like the choice of cannons out of ZAiN. It just allows if Nox thinks, you know what, I'm going to change it up. He's expecting Widowmine drops, but is he expecting tunneling claws, which allows the Widowmines, once they burrowed, don't get revealed once they've taken a shot off, and that can make them really hard to clean up. That was a good pick off on that mine.
Yeah, he also picked off the medevac as well, leaving 2 Widowmines just kind of burrowed here, doing absolutely. So no damage done here by Nox, which obviously, that's what the Terran relies on at this point, isn't it, for that 1-1-1 push to really work?
Yeah, for sure. He's looking to go for a similar push than that Richie did in the last series, but he hasn't got combat shields. I think that's a bit of a mistake out of Nox, not getting that combat shields, because his stim is already done, but he's got the combat shield. It's something he did last series, but I think it is always a mistake to miss out on that combat shields.
Yeah, it looks like Nox is going to play rescue mission here, pick up those Widowmines on the way and drop into the main, leaving just enough space there. And obviously ZAiN trying to be aggressive with his stalkers into that natural /third. But yeah, Nox is ready for it. And yeah, he's just going to push that aggression back. You see the medevac here just sort of swinging by, picking up the boys, as you will, and the bottom right near the main. And yeah, he's just going to go for it. No, he's not going to pick him up. He's just going to go for it. And ZAiN already warping a cannon, already pulling probes. Really, really well played here by ZAiN.
Oh, that was a bit of a missed micro there by ZAiN.
Yeah, single stalker, a couple of probes, but that was a big investment, to be fair. I think he's getting away with that meta. Bio now pushing out, just defending that third. Neither player really able to do what they want here. ZAiN wanted to be aggressive with those stalkers, not able. Nox wanted to drop with the minimum Widowmines, get a bit of economic damage, not able. So we're just going to see this go into sort of a mid-game where definitely the Protoss is going to be favored in the head here.
Absolutely. And we can see that ZAiN is just going, okay, I have all the economy I want in the world. I'm just going to get 2 Robos and pump out Colossus. Because they're more expensive than Storms, but they're more reliable than Storms. They can't get EMP'd or anything like that. They need to force out Vikings out of the player. So it's a very good, if you have the economy for it, it's a very good choice to make.
Yeah, totally agree. And obviously ZAiN just being really good on the upgrades here. +2 weapons on the way, +1 armor, almost finishes. But, Nox not falling too far behind as well. Just expanded to the third base. It obviously is going to be later than the Protoss is. His upgrades are on the way. Good army supply here as well. But he just hasn't been able to be aggressive, which I think he needs to do against ZAiN.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's got his triple drop, which works so well in the last series. Taking these ZAiN, who is a very aggressive with losses. Like we saw on Triton against GamerRichy, he was always in his face with those Colossus. But we're going to see a backstab here with these drops, while we see a little bit of pressure out of these medevacs there.
Yeah, good pick on the medevac there by ZAiN as well, obviously reducing the amount of stim that Nox could. But his army's moving back here. ZAiN just playing incredibly safe. It almost seems like he wants to be aggressive and then changes his mind. Maybe he's just expecting the drop. He's going to catch this drop, though. It isn't going to get taken down, but he's not. He knows it's coming. No warp-ins available. There is going to be some damage here. If he gets that cyber core, that might be massive. Another push here into the third, and ZAiN doesn't know what to do with his army right now. He's just taking out gateways. That's going to affect the production massively.
Yeah, but it's a bit like a game of the floor is lava right now for Nox. If he even comes in contact with his army, he has to run away. He can't fight it. He's going to get decimated when his army's in little pieces that can't really cohesively fight these Colossus.
Yeah, ZAiN really needs to sort of split his army, and he's doing a really good job of that. But the second he decides to be aggressive, he's going to know Nox, and that's a really good blink. The medevacs do get away. Widowmine doing a bit of damage from earlier, and he's going back for the production again, which is really, really good use of his time.
But those focusing down the upgrades here. Oh my god, he's going to catch 2-2 just before it finishes. That's going to be a delay.
Yeah, definitely a big delay. A little bit of aggression here on the fourth as well. ZAiN doing really well, really well to hold this. Massive Zealot warp in. The medevacs are going to get away. Good engagement here at the fourth as well for ZAiN. Colossus pushing everything back, and now ZAiN's army is getting bigger and bigger and scarier and scarier.
Yeah, the Colossus count is always the scary part of this army, and if he if Nox lets him run away with this Colossus count, is really going to be in a good time. But I believe he's already taken out. No, he's not actually taken out any Colossus, but there are 2 more on the way, and as it gets more and more, these Colossus are just going to get scary and scary, and these drops are just not going to work.
Yeah, we see drilling claws on the way as well from Nox, but still no Vikings really. And ZAiN's spotted this drop again by the observer. Good Zealot warp in, forcing the multitasking. I don't think Nox is quite able to deal with this amount of, but he is dropping on the 4th base. It looks like he is going to try and drop at the top here as well. But Zealot's just running by and sort of decimating everything at the moment. Another big warp in as well in the main. 8 SCVs down. Looks like this 4th base is going to drop. Marauder's doing a lot of damage everywhere at the moment. Maybe taking another base, but Zealot's doing damage, and the Nox army is just sitting there doing nothing. I think he's actually pulled pillar to post there. He doesn't quite know what's going on. He's pushing and focusing the Colossus, which is great. But right now, Zealots are sitting right next to his army. They're sitting right next to his army, and they're not doing anything.
He's just got to focus on so much right now. Any part of his army could just easily die, and especially the army at the front, which is his biggest army. He needs to focus on that.
Another huge Zealot warp in. Colossus still being produced as well. He is clearing it up, but the damage done there by ZAiN was absolutely huge. He's really sort of stripped Nox of any sort of aggressive tendencies here. He did stop 2-2 there, which is really good. But again, the Widowmine's decimating the front line, but the Colossus still stand, and that's a lot of Colossus still.
I'm sure there's a lot of Twitch chat and Reddit people that are going to say, oh wow, ZAiN did a really clever move of warping in Zealots into his opponent's base. But I think it's a bit more than that. ZAiN has just really dealt well with the multitasking here.
Yeah.
He's not left any of his forces idle. He's always been able to pull the right amount of units to deal with these. He has taken a lot of losses, but it's nothing compared to what Nox is in this multitasking game of... it's just going on everywhere, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You'd look at that and go, oh yeah, Zealots warping in the main base, that's what done it. But it wasn't. It was the fact that ZAiN was threatening the 3rd, threatening the natural, threatening the main, all at the same time. And we see Nox just sort of falling apart. Nox was trying to be aggressive as well, which wasn't really helping. But ZAiN doing a really, really good job here. 76 workers to 25 of Nox. Army supply is pretty equal, but the Protoss army is just so much stronger right now.
That's a crazy amount of High Templar just walked in.
You got to use that gas. You got to use that gas.
Got to use the gas, man. But he's got no storm. He's got no storm at the moment. He's not even started researching it, and that will be the crazy Doom army of death, though, wouldn't it? Colossus, Storm, Charge Bots, Sentries, you name it, he's got it.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much looking at, 1 mining base versus 4 mining bases right now. When you're that far ahead, you're going to need some significant Widowmine damage to catch up. But it looks like Nox is still sort of relying on that, old faithful of the Widowmine drops.
Yeah, he's also going to go in for, another normal drop in the south as well, wrapping around the Archons.
That is a lot of Archons. Oh, Widowmine going to get picked off. Nice, good job of the probes there.
That is a lot of Archon.
Yeah, he's gonna struggle to fight this at the moment. Obviously he's just not got the production anymore. The problem is this game is being played for a significant reward. So the players are going to hang in there for maybe longer than they normally would. But yeah, ZAiN doing such a good job of being so far ahead right now. Oh, another little Zealot drop in the main as well, just sort of pulling him away as a massive amount of Archons rip into that 3rd base, and the rest of Nox's SCVs are going to melt here. Good drop here by Nox being aggressive, but I think it's too little too late at this point. I think he needs his army at home to fight this. I don't think he can actually do anything. Was that a recall?
Yeah, that was a recall, and
strange.
There's so much splash damage out here for ZAiN. These Widowmines are going to be good, though.
Yeah, but, ZAiN doing a really good job of sort of blinking away, spreading his army, stopping that damage, and I think Nox finally realised how far behind he was.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was massively far behind. He was always in for that chance. It was just not really... After the trades, he didn't get as much economic damage done as he would have wanted to. The workers didn't really drop for ZAiN at all, but they did for Nox big time. They went down by, to 1/3 of what it was. Whereas ZAiN lost maybe 2 or 3 workers. It's not really an issue. And he's able just to remax in about 4.5 seconds with 1 or 2 warp ins, couple cycles of those Colossus, and is able just to warp in everything and get back to that max supply and push across the map.
Yeah, he kept that Colossus count nice and high. He wasn't really, gonna go. Oh, you can still see him playing safe at the end, and even like half of his army was enough to kind of take the production of Nox on there. Nox sort of streaming in, 1 unit at a time, because ZAiN absolutely decimated his production, absolutely decimated his main base, and absolutely decimated his SCV count. So well played by ZAiN there, just sort of pulling Nox every which way. And I think ZAiN might have found the sort of chink in his armor here. He might get through,
Maybe. I mean, it'd be nice to see ZAiN taking that, that series win, being the favorite there, and being able to take in maybe Nox down 2-0, possibly. Now that the tricks are out for ZAiN, he's going to play super standard, solid. It's not going to be too crazy, I don't think.
I can't imagine ZAiN getting too crazy, but this is ZAiN we're talking about. Crazy builds are his kind of, relaxation, if you will. But you know what? There's a lot on the line here. Winner gets through, winner gets some money, the opportunity to win this tournament. The loser kind of, goes out head held high, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, there's a lot in this. There's a lot in this.
Yeah, for sure. And ZAiN's one of those guys that are like favorite to make it into maybe the round of 4, possibly beat whoever is up against. But yeah, it's I don't know. Nox has been pretty tricky at the moment. He's already taken down ZAiN 2-0, and he's facing a guy that is currently up 1-0 and is spawning in the bottom right-hand side. He's representing the Drunken Outlaws. He is ZAiN.
And in top left, possibly his final game of today, we do see the yellow Terran, which is Nox representing the Drunken Outlaws.
And that'd be such a disappointment if we see Nox go out like that. He had such a great performance in the first series, and he was actually pretty good in the second series as well. No, I don't want to see him go out 0-2. I want to see him.
I don't want to see any of these players go out. I've got to be honest with you. I don't want to see any of these players go out.
Yeah, it's a good point. Why would we just...
We're all friends here. Everyone can make it through. Everyone can be the winner. No, that's not StarCraft. That's not StarCraft. We do not hand out participation trophy.
Everyone's going to get a $1 participation prize, a consolidation. But no, that'd be a bit... I don't know. I wouldn't want to go, Richie, you turned up. Here's $1. Well done.
I think you'd get some choice words from pretty much every player.
I am not enough of a diplomat to make that not offensive.
Yeah, there's no participation medal in StarCraft. It's either you win or you lose.
Jeez, yeah. Summarizing StarCraft there.
Have you ever seen a draw?
Yes, I've had a couple draws myself as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're interesting.
Yeah, I bet.
My favorite game from Home Story Cup was the draw between Pure and Test.
Yeah, where it was just like literally neither of them could kill each other.
Yeah. Oh, that was... Did you ever watch that game? It was the most recent
I think I did, yeah. I think I might have. If not, I think I might have seen it on Reddit.
It was actually incredible. You've got to watch it. It was so entertaining.
Yeah, nothing too crazy from either player here, but looks of it. ZAiN, perfectly normal. Nox being, what Nox does. I suspect we'll see some Widow Mines out of that factory. I'd be very shocked if we don't. So yeah, I'm hoping we see some Widow Mines, and I'm hoping that they get some damage done, because watching those Widow Mines pop off on probes is like one of my favorite things to see in this game.
For sure. I mean, the difference between what we've seen out of Nox and what we've seen out of Richie is that Nox has always been able to get in with his Reaper. He's always been able to see what the scouting, what he needs to scout in ZAiN's base. He's always been able to see, oh, it's a Twilight Burst. Oh, hey, look, there's no Robo this game, or whatever the choices may be. And that's what Nox has been doing really well compared to Richie.
Yeah, seeing an early armory. And Twilight Council straight from ZAiN. So ZAiN sitting back on that probably Blink Stalker
I want to make
play
the same
once again.
call as I did last time.
Proxy 4. Proxy 4.
I don't think it's going to be Thor this time. There's 2 mines on the way, so I think it's going to be Burrowing Claws.
Drilling.
Yeah, and with him seeing the armory, I think he's probably going to think that, but maybe that game on Triton has desensitized him and thinks maybe this is Thor again.
As much as I'd love to see that foreplay, I don't think it foreplay. I don't think it worked.
I think that ZAiN is thinking he's getting that forge down. He's going to get some cannons in his lines. You really need that detection in all parts of your base when going up against Burrowing Claws big time.
Yeah, so ZAiN's spotting exactly what this is and preparing for it. Wow, you see the pylons going down there just so he can spot the drops coming in. So it's clever use of sort of proxy pylons. We are going to see the drilling claws done in another sort of 30 seconds or so. So we expect to see a medevac out picking up those widow mines. But ZAiN is on it, isn't he? He's prepared. He knows what's coming. He's ready for it. This shouldn't do any damage.
Oh yeah, this shouldn't do any damage at all. But it's the 3 Rex follower that the scary part for Nox's build here. A lot of the times you'll see this going into 3cc, just because you can do a lot of damage off your 1-1-1 build there. You know, if you get your Burrowing Claws off completely undetected, that's why you'll see a lot of people like a lot of Koreans will proxy this armory, so that ZAiN doesn't see the armory and go, okay, so this is Drilling Claws, and that's it. Yeah,
because widow mines are obviously scary. But drilling claws widow mines are much, much scarier. And obviously they need an extra bit of, finesse to deal with. You need that detection out either via an earlier robo or, as you see ZAiN's doing, just the cannons. And cannons should shut this down almost 100%.
Yes, for sure. And it looks like he's going to get a cannon in his main base, and then he's going to keep his stalkers in his natural. Or not, actually. Because he's got no cannon in his natural. So he's actually susceptible to these Burrowing Claws, this Drilling Claws, excuse me. I'm getting the 2 names mixed up.
That's absolutely fine. But ZAiN does see it via the observer, moving his stalkers down, and this should be very hard to do damage. But it looks like Nox is just walking a widow mine straight into that 3rd base.
Yeah, this is pretty common actually, to be honest, where you can just walk, and he's probably going to get a free stalker for it. Yeah, he gets a free stalker for it, and he's going to get the mine drops off. Just even though there's 5 stalkers there, he still can't deal with it. The speed is just that much.
Yeah, they are quick little widow mines, aren't they? That's the stuff of nightmares. The cannon does pop up, and it is in range to pick off the last 2 as well. But that widow mine at the 3rd is going to get annoying. Yeah, can't see that one. I'm not sure if ZAiN knows it's there, but it's about to pop off again. The recharge is almost done. Nice little popper there. What about the one? Oh no. Another couple of probes as well. That's 3 damage though, and he still doesn't have an observer at home.
No, and Nox has a really big army advantage right now, and it looks like he might push out quite soon. He's got Stim here, so he can be active on the map. And are there how many medevacs are at the moment? So it's just the 2, 1 at home, 1 at.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so 2 at the moment. So there's 2 at home. Should be all coming. Finally, that widow mine does get taken, but this one gets another kill as well. So really, really good use of widow mines here by Nox, which is pretty much expected of his style right now.
And BMU, look at D supply. Nox is up nearly 30 supply. He's ahead in workers. He's got his 3rd base down. This is why I'm a little bit confused about the 3 Rex, because if he'd gone straight into 3cc here, he could just cement that advantage big time, and we'd be seeing Nox on probably 60 workers right now. You'd be really, really far ahead right now.
But yeah, this is the absolute difference between this harassment working and this harassment not working. Forces a recall as well. But he knows there's a cannon there, so this is still a bit risky, to be fair. But if he gets those drops and he gets them drilled really quickly, then can still do some damage. But no, just pushing the medevac back. But yeah, Nox really, really far ahead because that harassment actually worked this game, which is a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's just going to keep going for more and more widow mine drops. I think I'm going to save these replays of Nox and use them for my own devious plan.
Oh. So you need to pay for that usually, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll donate to my own prize for it. That's what I bet. for my own replays. But yeah, this is some really good, harassment builds. It's non-standard builds out of Nox. This whole series has been not 3-racks at all. It's just been Widowmine drops, Widowmine drops, Widowmine drops. Big Doom drops going into the main base, doing loads of damage. It's been really, really good play out of Nox.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's actually a mega player because, he plays so well with Bio.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what I really like from him as well is he's relentless with those drops, but he has Marines everywhere on this map. He knows exactly where ZAiN is. He's losing medevac here, but they're going to get 2 Stalkers and there's still 1 ready to charge. So he can put that in a really awkward place if he chooses to as well, just out of that cannon's range. So yeah, I would probably get that burrowed and have some fun with it.
Maybe, but I don't think he's seen it. I think he just assumes.
Yeah, he probably assumes they all got cleaned up. He's going to probably see it now once that ping. Come on, another Widowmine.
That's a shame. But it looks like Nox is going to finally push out, but it's pushing out in 2 halves. Going to go full Nox style here. Going to be multi-prong.
Yeah, and we've seen ZAiN fall to this, especially when the early aggression. ZAiN seems to get a little bit flustered, a little bit behind on he doesn't have that sort of killer composition he usually does. I mean, look at the supply difference right now. It's 40 supply difference between these 2 players. And Nox is ready to be aggressive. +2 weapons on the way as well. +1 armor about to finish. Stim done. Combat shields done. Widowmines, medevacs. It's looking really, really good for Nox.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Usually these Widowmines are a strange choice versus Colossus, but I think in previous games they've actually worked out really well for him. They've just picked off stray little Stalkers, and when you've got Stalkers and Colossus and Zealots and Sentries, it's kind of hard to blink out of the way of mines, so you do end up losing units for free as well.
Yeah, good little Zealot harass, but the surround here by Nox is really, really well played. Those shields can't protect against everything. Colossus are absolutely melting in the background to those Marauders. There's not a lot left. That was a mana meal if I've ever seen one. And this Bio army is slowly chasing down. No Zealots really, just being warped in now. The Bio raining down absolute destruction. There's very little left. He did take out a Colossus or 2. He's looking for the kill now, though. That mana mule might be a little bit preemptive. Colossus goes down. Second Colossus goes down. Only a few Stalkers remaining now, and these Marauders are being kept up by good medevac play. Disruptors in the back, just missing that Nova. Good pickup! Ooh, good pickup there by Nox. Well spotted. And these Marauders are just going to continue pushing down. Units not quite streaming across the map, but reinforcements are probably on the way. The upgrade's finished now, and Nox just cemented his lead
as well. This is really, really great play by Nox here. I am really liking his play today, and I think that we might see Nox make this into a series again.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's about to recover this game, but if any unit can pull back the win, it's Disruptors. But that's a lot of Bio. Again, playing the surround game, there's no force field. Stalker's going to be really low. Widowmine still getting some damage done as well. Pressure on this 4th. Looks like there's a drop in the natural. A lot of Widowmines coming in. He really likes these Widowmine kills.
Lots of... What? Yeah, I just got a massive kill.
How did that reach all the way over there? My God, these Widowmines have got some...
An insane upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. 4th base goes down. 3rd base is going to fall here as well. Disruptors on the way to Colossus, but there's nothing to put in front of them. Widowmine's on cooldown, so these Stalkers are going to be okay. But as soon as they run into that Bio, it's going to be... No observers. Disruptors coming in. Good Nova there. Going to just about miss a few units. Second Nova, possibly. Colossus raining down their beams, but that is a lot of Bio. Nox knows exactly what's going on. Decent Nova, but just too much stuff.
This is some really impressive, just very bio-heavy style here. You normally don't see this, and I think that's why ZAiN also goes with Disruptors in the end. They aren't really very good for, defense, but I don't think he was expecting just such relentless, constant pressure there.
Yeah, Nox pulling it back as well, which is... pulling that series back to 1-1. It just seems that if Nox gets his game plan, he knows where he is, he knows what to do, he knows where to apply pressure. But the second ZAiN shuts down those drops and they don't do damage, it seems Nox doesn't quite understand where he is in the game. And that causes him to be less aggressive. He needs to be more aggressive, and aggression clearly wins for him.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's... ZAiN doesn't to know what's happening against Nox. He's just playing so non-standard that ZAiN's keyed in to try and defeat GamerRichy style Terrans, but not Nox. Nox is just
relentlessly aggressive.
very, very aggressive, constant drop, harassment on point. It's actually on point.
I'm
Very,
impressed.
very impressive.
I'm impressed.
It's an interesting one. It's an interesting.
Looks like Nox has got a lot of support in the chat as well, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, the Infed have come out and
it's been an odd day. It's been a very odd day, you know.
Man, this is killing me. Every series has gone 2-1, apart from GamerRichy's. Unfortunately,
just twist that knife a little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to that. And no, GamerRichy is another Infed player, well, former Infed player as well.
Yeah.
It's Infed are out in force, man.
It seems they produce some really, really good talent as well, so that's really good. I love Nox's style. I love that aggression.
Incredible. It's actually incredible. And we're going to go into the final game, the final map of this entire night. It's going to be Simulacrum. I'm really not a fan of this map, but hey, these guys are, so.
I'm just not a fan because I can't say it properly.
Simulacrum.
Simulacrum. I don't know. It's a map. It's a good map. I like it. I'm Zerg though, so I like this map.
Yeah, I can imagine you would. Big open areas, lots of easily defended third bases. Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like Nox's sort of map as well, to be fair.
Maybe, actually, but usually the Terrans go for a very third base, just so they can be more aggressive. And, you know, the top third is just, it's so hard to defend. So, looks like both of our players are ready, and we're going to go into the very final game, and I'm exhausted.
This has been a longer night than I thought it would. I thought it'd be like 2-0s across the board.
This jersey, this hoodie is very warm. Very warm. This hoodie.
I told you this a couple of weeks ago as well. You need to get those things on sale. I'm telling you, that adds the price.
When we got them on the sale last time, it was such a pain. The manufacturer just ghosted me constantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wanted them for Octoberland because I got them started in September. Didn't get them until like January. Awful. Took them 3 months. But yeah, I might have to get designs and take it to a different manufacturer and get them made because people seem to love them. So
I thought the colors on them are great. They're fantastic, bright colors. You gotta love showing that off as well. And plus, you feel part of the crew. You know, part of the crew.
Part of the crew. Part of the StarCraft.
And talking of StarCraft players,
yeah, both have the same segue in mind. So it's spawning in the top left-hand side. He is representing the DOH. He is ZAiN.
Also representing the DOH, currently tied at 1-1. The last game of the night. Give it up for Nox.
So we've not actually really been able to talk about the players too much, I don't think, their story, like that, because a lot of these guys in the entire tournament have been to Epic Land very recently. We've all met up very recently. You know, we're all good friends. We all know quite a bit about each other. Like ZAiN is the brother of Razorblader, which I'm sure was harped on about over and over again at Epic Land. No, he's the older brother. Looks like the younger brother.
Wait, ZAiN's the older brother?
Oh, yes, exactly. ZAiN is the older.
No.
Yeah, he's the older brother out of the two. And,
Jesus, he looks after himself then. My God.
I would not have come out with that compliment, so I'm glad you did. But yeah, ZAiN's been playing for a very, very long time. So is Razran. ZAiN's actually was a higher level player than Razza was way back when. Just because he was younger, he wasn't as focused as ZAiN was, just because of the age difference. Because if you look at the results, there's a lot more ZAiN results than his Razorblader results way back in the day with like Wings of Liberty. But you know, come modern times, we've seen Razza pull his thumb out and go all the way with StarCraft. Man, he's second place at 5 Epic Lands, maybe. How many is it now? I'm trying to think off the head. It is
a lot.
Yeah, it is 5. It is 5 second places in Epic Land. Whereas ZAiN usually shies away from it. He's normally not part of a team. Only now that he's come to an Epic Land and he loves the UK community, they started to join teams. Like, at his first LAN, he was brought onto the Drunken Outlaws with a fish fillet.
that's,
From
I mean,
McDonald's.
if I was going to get bribed into a team, that's probably not the way I'd choose to go.
Probably not, but I mean, man's got to have fish, though, you know?
And what do we know about Nox then? What can you tell us about Nox?
See, I met Nox at my first LAN, and he was part of, like, they had a big row of Infed players, and I don't think I particularly know all particularly well. Thinking back in my memory, I can't particularly remember many of them particularly look like. It's been quite a while. It's been, 2.5 years, 3 years. It's been a while since I last saw them. Only then, it was only for 2 days at Epic LAN. But he's part of Infairs. They've been on and off. They're very, they work hard. They played a lot of team leagues back in the day. They really tried hard. But I guess the passion wore off a little bit, as it does with a game such as StarCraft. It's such a difficult game, and if you don't have the right mindset or whatever, you struggle to improve. And you don't really, you struggle to go all the way, become like pro, do really well in the scene, win epic lands, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen like the top level pros as well have that sort of like breakdown where they're doing really, really well, have like 6 months of essentially run bad or not quite keeping up, and then that's them done. I mean, look at, and I don't know how much you know about the old school scene of Wings of Liberty, but there's very, very few of them left around, or even Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Heart of the Swarm drove away a lot of people. Swarm Host, good units. But I mean, there was other reasons than that, but Swarm Host was a pretty bad unit. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I love Swarm Hosts.
As a Zerg player, I'm sure you did. The constant Swarm Host war. But yeah, Nox isn't one of those guys that, like, if I thought back, he was like, oh yeah, who are the best players of Infed? Nox probably wouldn't be up there. But now, man, he's really pulling it out.
He's showing us
6K players. Really, really done well.
He's showing us just how well a Terran can play with those Widow Mines. We do see the Drilling Claws upgrade again, but I think ZAiN scouted the armory, so no sort of surprises as to what is going on. To be perfectly honest with you, he does sort of scan Nox, sort of seeing what's going on in that main. Is there any cannons? Is there stalkers in place? Of course, there's stalkers in place. ZAiN knows how you play.
Yeah. ZAiN's very good. His game knowledge again is probably his biggest strength, just because he's seen so much. He's been playing for so long. He's seen pretty much every sort of build you could think of over his very, very long history with StarCraft.
Yeah, even though he does look about 14, so.
Whoa.
I'm just saying.
That's a bit far.
He looks young. He looks young.
Himself, baby face, maybe, but like, no.
No, I'm only kidding, ZAiN. I love you, really. We do see Nox moving in for this drop, as is pretty common, but I think ZAiN's already ready for it. He's scouted it. Again, brilliant observer placement all the time by ZAiN. And look, the vision he's got. He's got an adept sort of sitting in the middle of the map, watching another observer. He knows exactly what's going on, and he should be able to lock Nox down. But Nox has this weird way of just getting these drops in and getting aggression done.
Yeah, when you have Burrowing Claws, anything is possible. Especially when there's only like 3 stalkers there. A good boost in could probably get them in if he avoids his cannon, because that's the thing that's going to really deal the damage out there.
Yeah, and he's just waiting. He knows ZAiN knows he's there. He's just waiting. He's not willing to commit just yet. He does scan the natural to sort of see, are the stalkers there? Yes, they are, but he knows there's only 3. So yeah, he's just waiting to kind of get this damage done, I think. And Nox holding back on these drops. And again, we've just seen that similar sort of push here. The combat shields, the stim, the +1, the bio, the med. But that early game damage hasn't been done yet. Nox was in a completely different position, even though it's a very, very similar build, very similar timing, just because of those Widow Mine drops getting so much done. So be interesting to see if he does decide to push out with the bio and, how different that fight's going to be.
I'm not sure if I caught it because we were talking too much about the players, but I think that ZAiN may have cut probes to get more stalkers out, to get his tech out. That may have put Nox more of in the game than
makes sense.
He was before. Because he's got his 3rd CC down. He's pretty happy with how this game's going, and he's going into his normal multi-prong. He's going to move out with a small force of bio, pretty much just a token force right now, to apply damage, take map control. and distract him while he's real damage dealers, then Widow Mine drops go in.
Yeah, I think that's the real sort of thing here is, as you said, the distraction play. You know, he's scanning there, but he missed the observer, which is really disappointing. Yeah, just missed that observer. Widowmine going to go down, but the observer sees it. Now Widowmine drop coming in. He's going to bypass these stalkers, but he does get picked off by the cannon. Widowmine not going to get anything done. The push at the front not going to get anything done. And I think ZAiN smelt a bit of weakness here. I think he's going to go for a little bit of damage himself. Interesting place to place the turret.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, putting it nice and forward is really good for sniping observers.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's the main reason. He's not there for DTs. I don't think he's particularly scared of that until like the later game, and I don't really think that's ZAiN's forte.
I haven't seen ZAiN use DTs ever. I don't think. I've only seen like 10 or 20 games, but
yeah, I don't think that's ZAiN's thing. Like you'll see a lot of players, especially in the UK, like Chelch, like Molten, will go, "It's the late game. It's DT time. Blink DTs. Let's go for it." So
I mean, I've seen them win games. I've seen them win games over and over again.
Yeah, not prepared for them. Yeah.
Yeah, Nox taking a slight lead in terms of supply, but I think he's behind in general army composition. Going up to that +2 upgrade, but so ZAiN. ZAiN's already got a 4th base established in mining, and a big drop here coming from Nox. This might catch him off guard. This might be what he needs to get ahead.
There's only 3 stalkers in position. It's going to be really good, and it's going to line up with +2 weapons as well.
Yeah, great timing attack here. And he's got a small bioforce in the middle of the map as well. Probably looking to push that third as he drops a main. But yeah, it looks like it is go time. That drop is moving into the main. Looks like there's another drop in the south as well. Just on that third base there as well. Just a really small one marauder, probably just to drag attention. But the Doom drops in. Only a couple of zealots walked in. That's a lot of bio. It's going to rip through. Shield battery not quite done. And Nox is going to be able to hit the production here. The main army is pushing back that small drop, but the damage is being done in the main right now.
Yeah, it's just really scary for ZAiN. Like, that army is still at the front, so there's only a little bit of a zealot by this one zealot killing off this siege tank, though. Pull back the entire army. Oh, these Colossus going up the cliff there has really made it difficult for Nox to hold on to that position. Yeah,
he did try to snipe that Colossus, which was the correct decision. He just didn't quite have enough bio left. And now that Motivax is kind of stuck.
The main base, though. He got the Nexus in the main base, which is really, really big.
Yeah, not a massive deal. I mean, there's only a couple of mineral patches left there, but obviously the gas is going to make the big difference, I think, in that engagement. But we do see a small bioforce now pushing into the south, more in the north side as well. Those medevacs can't really do much in that position at the top by the main, so I think they're just going to rejoin the army. Disruptor shot coming in, but it is going to fall short. Big bio push into the third, and he might just snipe another Nexus here.
So yeah, big engagement down at the third base, and he's going to try and engage it into the in close third base as well. But there's so many disruptors there, just so many Novas firing off.
Yeah, Zealot's doing a really good job of clearing that up as well. He is going to bring those medevacs home. There looks like a couple of drops going into the main again, and a big load up again. Looks like 4 medevacs full here. Looks like a full-on Doom drop, but ZAiN is pushing across. Luckily enough, those medevacs catch it there, but that's a lot of zealots. They can rip through bio pretty quick. ZAiN moving in with his army as well. That's a big scary army.
Though right now, this is actually you need some incredible Widowmine shots there. If he can kill off these this zealot buffer here, then he's going to be in a really good position. These Colossus aren't fighting.
No, definitely not. That's a really bad sort of timing for Nox to sort of rely on their disruptors coming in now. Looks like a few stalkers left at home, but a very, very small bio push. Looks like the main damage is coming in. Disruptor shots going in. Looks like they did kill a few SCVs. Nox doesn't have quite the forces to fight this, and that's a really bad position to fight against as well.
Yeah, this is a perfect position for these disruptors. This is what they excel at in these siege positions, where they can fire into the Terran without the Terran being able to fire back.
I like this surround by Nox as well, sort of willing in there, but good force fields blocking everything off. Zealots don't quite know which way to go. That's a lot of bio. That was a good disruptor shot.
Everything is on the line here. All the Colossus. Oh my
Nox
God,
has cleaned it up.
Are gone.
Nox cleaned it up. He's lost a lot doing it as well. He is down sort of 30 workers at the moment, but he does clean that up.
Voice went very high pitched there, but there's no tech out for Nox for ZAiN right now. He's going to push across the map, but it's going to be Zealot Stalker. That just dies to bio.
Yeah,
I don't know why ZAiN is pushing out right now. He's to defend.
I think I think he's realized he's pulling that army back. Nox again playing that really aggressive style, getting, going for the bio drop. He scans, he knows where the army is, but he sees it moving out. He might change his mind here and just come back home, but it looks like he's not. A good zealot warp in there.
These
It looks like
mines
he's
attacking. Sees the mines.
Good job there.
Really big. If he had lost everything to those mines again, that would have been absolutely massive.
Yeah, mines lining up, take that warp prism, so that's going to stop the harass. SCV's rapidly repairing this planetary, but that is a lot of DPS, a lot of stalkers. Bio finally coming in, but that's a lot of gateway. But he's picking off the third of ZAiN as well. Not doing everything he can. He denies the recall, just a zealot warp in. Yeah, this is on the edge of your seat, nail biting stuff here. Zealot's getting surrounded by SCVs. The boys doing the work there, and Nox is falling further and further behind in terms of income, but his army supply is about even, and the way he's using his army is just incredible.
He's completely surrounded with all these stalkers, though. He's going to lose so many of these stalkers, and the zealots are by themselves. The disruptors aren't in the fight. This is everything that Nox could have wanted for in this last fight here.
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously, the income disparity is starting to show. ZAiN on sort of 4 clean bases at the moment. Nox going for another drop, but every time he seems to drop, ZAiN gets really, really aggressive. Not this time, though. This time he's got enough Marauders back at home. That drop is going to do some damage at that top base.
The only 2 Colossus is the sustainability of this style here for Nox. He's not got these bases after that planetary. There's not a lot of income. He needs to float off his main base to a 4, that sort of thing. He really needs to aggressively expand with his main natural those CCs.
Yeah, and obviously Zealot's already in place here to stop the drop, but the bio army is moving out. ZAiN expanding everywhere. Obviously, the more sort of wide your expansions goes, the worse it is for you against someone like Nox, but his income disparity is absolutely huge. As you said, he needs to expand, but he just doesn't have the time or the money right now if he wants to keep that army count nice. We do see a bit of a push, but it's mostly gateway units against bio, which obviously favors the melt.
There's nothing really that ZAiN can do to fight this army. He's just going to lose in trades here.
Yeah, it looks like the disruptors are going to try and do, but he doesn't want to leave them out of position too much.
The Novas aren't
not
good
great. No, not great. And we do see a little bit of a push here as well, but the cannon shield battery.
Losing all these drops, though.
That hurts.
Oh no, the weak medevacs.
That was some really good blink play by ZAiN there, picking off the medevacs. This base should go down. The Zealots are not quite in position to do this, but the Colossus now arriving with the Disruptors, with the Stalkers. That's a really overstimmed army. Yeah, that army's really overstimmed. The medevac count is just too low at the moment. He's not rebuilding. He can't really afford it. He can't really afford that extra base as well. He's just doing everything he can to stay in this game. We see the Widow Mine. It's not going to get a chance to pop, unfortunately. Oh, it does. It gets 1 probe. But yeah, at the moment, ZAiN barreling down.
Disruptors, the Colossus, being aggressive with this composition it's so easy for ZAiN. This is exactly what he's comfortable with. And there's nothing on the map to make ZAiN feel uncomfortable, to say. There's just no drops out at the moment, and this army is so big for ZAiN.
Yeah, and he's picking up that sort of middle ground position as well. Nox looking for the surround again that won him the last fight, but the unit count's a lot lower. That army's a lot stronger. The upgrades are better. The base already goes down. Nova's coming in. He can't quite get the surround. That's a lot of Protoss, and I think Nox might have finally fallen here, but I've seen him do weirder things.
Yeah, with income barely into the triple digits here, I think I don't really see a future for Nox here. He's on 2 command centers, both of them orbital. There's a stray stalker somehow killing off supply depots in the back of the natural.
Do you know what, though? ZAiN is just not taking anything for granted here. It looks like he is sort of preparing for this final fight. The boys are in there. The Zealots are getting ripped apart, but my God, that's a lot of Novas. The Colossus raining down with their beams as well. Stalkers blinking back, not losing barely a single unit in that engagement. That army is very overstimmed. Only 1 medevac. This might be the final fight of the season. More Colossus coming in as well. Zealot's going to chase down this army. No more medevacs.
There it is. GG. ZAiN's going to take it in such a close game, in a 15, 18-minute game. Man, wow. That was an incredible game, incredible series. It's a shame that one of them has to be eliminated. That would have been an incredible final. You name it, that would have been they were so sick. The ZAiN Nox series have been the highlight, I think, for me.
Yeah, some really, really good games. I mean, you've seen it when Nox got that sort of mid-game aggression through the Widow Mine drops. You know, he pulled ahead. He felt really comfortable. The second ZAiN sort of swatted them back. He almost, I don't want to say fall apart because he did far from it. He played really, really well. But obviously, he's used to being ahead and he's used to pushing that advantage. Whereas obviously ZAiN, you know, quite comfortable to play from that point where he's even. So just amazing play from both players. Both of them, no matter the result, should hold their heads up high. They've done incredibly well, showed us some amazing games, and that's only Group A. There's 3 more groups to go.
Yeah, I was expecting Group A will be all right, the best groups, but no, we're up to 11 already. There's no build up. There's just there it is. There's Group A. Deal with it. Every single series 2-1. Insane. I couldn't have wished for a better night, to be honest.
No, that's been, especially when you look at the group and you think, oh, it's just going to be, you know, 20-minute, 30-minute long Met games, TVT or not. I mean, I think we made the joke as well, sort of, oh, you know, get the coffee ready, get the drinks in, you know.
Yeah.
But no, some really exciting games tonight, and yeah, all 4 of tonight's players, Mystic, Nox, ZAiN, GamerRichy, just really showing what UK StarCraft is, what it can do. They're up there with the big boys. It's been incredible.
Sure. I think Purge in the chat is right. Nox is a winner in our hearts. I would have loved to have seen Nox advance over ZAiN. At the same time, I'm happy ZAiN advanced over Nox. Being like completely oxymoronic or what's that? Paradoxical, but like I love both these guys and I love Nox's play tonight. Absolutely adored it.
Yeah.
It was incredible to see.
I mean, my final thoughts are, as I said, I'd love to see all 4 of these players advance. And I think if we had sort of lower bracket system, they would see all those players again at some point, you know, pushing their way up the ladder. But yeah, amazing games by everybody. The UK StarCraft scene is so good. I can't believe how good it is.
Yeah. I love this country. I love hold on. I love this country so much. No, I love the people here that
tear rolls down your cheek, you know, as you think about it.
I'm going to wipe them off with my
national anthem played in the background.
God save the Queen, man.
Nah, exciting play from everybody, and as I said, that's you know, Group A of this 4-group series. We've got at least another 3 days of this, and then plus obviously the bracket system. So yeah, advance into the brackets are ZAiN and Mystic. Well deserved, both players. Nox, GamerRichy obviously going out, but by no means, you know, due to their play at all. Really, really good showing from everybody.
For sure. I'd like to put one last thanks out to Exo, who's been observing and streaming for tonight. He's done an amazing job. Really, really thank you for coming in. He's had to come home during work for this. He worked this morning and now he's going to work this evening to fill in the rest of his hours.
What a lad.
Which is really, really awesome of him.
Yeah, definitely. So big thank you to Exo for putting on the stream as well as observing. Big thank you to basically everybody tuning in as well. We peaked at quite a few viewers for, you know, a small stream of day 1 essentially. So yeah, thank you everybody.
Oh, for sure. I really appreciate the support we've been seeing, and I hope to see you all again on Thursday night.
Yeah, so what's going on Thursday? Tell the stream.
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, I'm in. Okay.
Put you on the spot there. No.
So no, that's fine. Yeah, so it's starting at 7 o'clock on Thursday. So that's Group B. Lola Zerg. So we've got Asta, Johnny Rico, Matt, and the Protoss in the group Molten. So we're going to see some really, really good games there as well. Don't want to call it because that group is pretty stacked as well. And I'm not going to put a caster's curse on anybody for this one. Who's casting?
I'm going to do it because last time I did that, it ended with some amazing results. So here are my predictions.
Oh.
Johnny Rico first.
Ooh.
Matt second. Asta third. Molten fourth.
Wow.
Yeah.
After all Molten Sunfro's in chat tonight moderating.
Yeah.
Drop that one on him.
That's it. Voltacus honorary member of InFed. Oh, that's cute.
Well, Volt, I think we should wrap this one up. It's been a long series.
I played in the Infed DOH in-house, so technically maybe